All right. Listen, this is a follow-up to our last Dying Light.
Oh, yeah, fucking long time coming. Holy shit.
Dead Wars 2012, Mr. R.W. Tech are back. We're watching the world slowly unfold.
Like, unravel at the seams, finally.
Sargon spurging out. Muda got caught for being a hypocrite, which Fred predicted. You predicted this shit months ago.
Well, it's like everybody who knew anything about Mudahar and already knew that he went on Nux's fucking channel was like, yeah, he's a fucking hypocrite. Fuck him. Like, seriously.
Yeah, like you were saying, like he literally watches like cartel execution videos and shit.
Well, yeah, like he is famous for being like a dark web explorer, which I didn't mind. Like, I really honestly don't care that he watches like fucking fucked up shit. I've seen like fucked up shit. Probably not anything like nearly as horrible as like what he watches, but I've seen like fucking deers getting obliterated by aeroplanes. I've seen like shit like that will turn your hair white. But like, I don't try to like pretend that I'm a better person than everybody else.
Yeah.
It's just like, come the fuck on, dude. And it's like, and once again, the age-old thing. Oh, anime's weird and it's pedo bait. And it's like, you literally don't watch. Really? Really? Going there. Let's head to the marker on the map.
No, but what you're saying, I'm sorry for interrupting. No, you're 100% right.
Well, it's like my biggest issue is the fact that, like, for one, like, the motherfucker was always going to get caught. For two, he's literally in bed with a bunch of people who are not fucking good people on the internet to begin with, so, like, his fucking bedfellows, I'd rather take my chances with Nux. Sure, he's a hypocrite too, but at least he's just goofy, haha, anime guy. He's not just, like, I'm better than you. Meanwhile, watch Daisy's destruction. Like, fuck you, dude.
Well, you know, Fred, can I be a little bit
get up this
poetic for a second?
Sure.
You have, I think you have this idea, and I agree with it, that as long as it's not someone engaging in an illegal activity, they should have the ability to do whatever they want, as long as it doesn't violate someone else's.
Yeah, if you're not taking steps to like actively hurt people or invest in things that actively hurt people who don't otherwise deserve it, you're fine. Do whatever the fuck. Who cares?
So, you almost have this idea of something we call a social contract, where like a society should like have like limited, laws that are just meant to protect people from other people maybe treading on their rights, and that we should, it's almost like these are ideas that like used to be what we'd call classical liberalism. But I know this British man who thinks that those ideas are now bad and led to the destruction of this country. Not the massive land empire that basically crumbled and then they decided to let in some of those people from the crumbling empire. Not the Marxists that infiltrated academia and hate like classical liberalism because that's what built America. No, it's the ideas of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that are evil. Okay. Because I'm a British retard. And I am going to defend Marx. A piece of shit. A literal piece of shit. It said, well, not all of his ideas are bad. Yes, they're all bad.
They're all fucking bad. Just because he felt sorry about him in the end doesn't make him not a fucking bad person. Fuck Marx.
Well, and the problem is, it's like, there is something to be said in history about, like, inequality. That's definitely something that's existed in history. But, like, Marx isn't even right about it when he talks about it. He's a fucking idiot. And I'm sick of these I hate the term grifters because, like, the left likes to use it about, like, anybody that's on the right. But these people really are fucking, like, grifting. They're coming into a movement. Like Tim Pool, a fence sitter. He has so much fucking fence sitting that his ass is just pure fucking splinters.
Gotta look good over 40.
What are all these
fucking head? Take off your beanie.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like just like it's the same thing with Keemstar. We all know you're fucking bald, dude. Just take the fucking off.
I'll
do it once.
You know what? I'll shave my head bald out of spite if these fucking motherfuckers. There's no shame in it.
Well, it's just like people who are so narcissistic that they can't accept the fact that they're aging. Like, aging gracefully or aging poorly. Who fucking cares? You're getting old. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. With age comes wisdom. Yeah. But it's like, all these fucking people, like, all these fucking hypocritical people who think they're such hot shit, and they don't have a fucking brain in their skull. Like, serious. Like, fucking Keemstar trying to, like, go to bat for Muda, and, like, and like Sargon like spurging out about like fuck.
From one scumbag to another, I think Muda's a great guy.
Well, it's like it's parody. It's all these people fucking sucking their own dicks in a circle and like pretending that they're the smartest man alive. Meanwhile, they've never stepped outside their own door to figure out what the fucking sky looks like.
But like Sargon misrepresents what liberalism is. He's making a critique.
Well,
of
it's like ideas are not
capitalism.
bad. It's the misuse of the ideas that are bad. Because Razor Fist actually made a tweet earlier, like basically sort of like drawing a parallel to like using like the deep state as a power and like throwing it away and destroying it. Ring. Yeah, to the one ring to rule them all. And it's like, yeah, use this thing that has corrupted so many before, or build a new. I know what I'm fucking picking. I'd rather start from the ground up, because it's already not fucking working how we have it now.
Well, you know, the part that's actually made me kind of depressed about, like, things is, not like depressed, but like, the part
it depresses you.
Well, yeah. Well, see what it is, like, 10, 15 years ago, you know, even with like the left kind of obviously melding into this freak show that it is today, like most politicians, even if it's lip service, like had this idea that like, you know, the kind of principles that built our country, that Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence and were in our Constitution, these are actually something that every American can agree on, that there should be, you know, representative government that protects people's freedom of religion, freedom of speech, right to bear arms. But these people want to throw that away because they think that, like, the problems with our current society is just because that's like the natural reason. Yeah, but they think they think that like the idea of like classical liberalism is the problem with society. No. Like, Marxists infiltrated academia back in the 60s.
Well, Marxists infiltrated the fucking military, too. They gave, like, dummy rounds to, like, the French Foreign Legion that didn't fucking work in Vietnam and completely sabotaged their efforts.
But it's like, the idea of, like, classical liberalism should be like a foundational belief of anybody in Western society. It's like the one thing, like that's what a social contract is. It's like the one thing is non-negotiable is that we need a society where people consent to be governed. If you can't agree on that, then you don't have a society anymore. You have anarchy.
It's like how like we finally proved it with this recent election. It is not like the richest among us get to like dictate to the fucking plebeians below them. It's you are given the privilege to assist us in bettering this country. You do not own everything by virtue of just having more money or having more fucking influence or having more Instagram followers. You're a fucking empty idol.
Well, that's definitely part of it. I mean, the other thing is this election proved that even with all of the flaws that have been introduced by like charlatans, it was not an insurmountable, you know, challenge. Yeah. We were able to actually win this election. We were able to show, you know, not to get cringy and like bring up, it's like where Batman's like, this city just showed you that we're nothing to believe in, but
that's not what I do with the mask that defines me, but the creamy center that's on the inside. Batman, what the fuck?
Oh, I'm replaying Arkham Asylum.
That's what's weird. Like, all of a sudden, like, in between all the negativity and, like, all these people that we used to watch becoming fucking retards once again, Like all of a sudden, like all my old games that I loved growing up are like starting to become like replayed because there's literally fucking nothing else. And it's like Dark Souls 2 is back in the zeitgeist. Arkham games are back in the zeitgeist. Fucking, like, somebody was talking about Fallout New Vegas. Somebody brought up Left 4 Dead 2, like, literally a day after I played it, and I thought I was having a fucking... I thought I was having a mental episode. I was like, I do not have this kind of power. This is not who... This is not me.
Sorry.
I can't get to the upper floors.
A lot of the Zoomers have picked up New Vegas out of the Fallout.
New Vegas is really, really good, but like, give 3 a chance. All those fucking dickheads saying, "Oh, New Vegas is so much better than Fallout 3. Fallout 3 shouldn't have even existed." And it's like, Fallout 3 was a stepping stone to get to New Vegas. You fucking idiot.
New Vegas.
Without Fallout 3, you lose New Vegas.
Well, three I consider to still be the superior game. But
I like 3.
But the thing is, like, yeah, 3. The thing about 3 in New Vegas is you almost have to kind of play those games like one after another, because there's things that New Vegas does better than 3, and there's things that 3 does better than New Vegas.
Well, it's like the thing that carried over to 4, weapon modification. As much as Todd hates fucking New Vegas, you can't say that without New Vegas we wouldn't have gotten the cool weapon customization in 4. That was my favorite part of 4.
Oh. The chick that plays the lead character in the Fallout TV show. You know, like there's that TV show that they came out with. It's like pretty good. I would say it's not perfect, but like
nothing's like completely perfect. But yeah, like I'll admit, like the Fallout TV show I've heard is really, really good, all things considered.
It's the best Fallout thing to be released in the past 10 years, which is insane much, but it actually is pretty good. But the chick that plays the main character, who I think she's like a quirkably likable chick too. Like she's not. It's kind of nice that she's not like, okay, she's maybe not like the most like fucking drop dead supermodel, but like at least she's like somewhat attractive, which is these days kind of a rare thing. They usually like to cast like freaks in movies.
Yeah. I am the first non-bite. No, you're fucking not. You're a fucking clone.
She got told to play Fallout New Vegas to get ready for Season 2 of the Fallout series, and that makes my fucking...
But didn't they already, like, retcon it that Shady Sands got blown the fuck up?
It really wasn't a retcon, it's just a poor timeline, is how I see it, but,
I don't know, it seemed pretty spiteful, like, the way they were like, no, Shady Sands doesn't exist, New Vegas is non-canon.
No, but, well, I don't, do you want spoilers?
I don't want to be cynical, yeah, what's the spoiler?
Well, at the end of the TV show, they literally show her father arriving in New Vegas.
That's cool. Who's her father?
So, yeah, I mean... the main characters.
Oh, okay, so he goes to... Okay, never mind. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, New Vegas... Yeah, New Vegas
Where the fuck do I find
canon,
lavender?
Yeah. I would say that's my biggest critique of the TV series. It seems like it, like kneecap the NCR for the purpose of like the plot, which the overall
to be fair, the NCR is canonically hilariously inept. It's actually
in Fallout New Vegas it is. In the Fallout 2, not so much.
I mean,
that's more of a
like
New Vegas sort of like New Vegas is a great game, and I don't mind what they did with the NCR because you could like feasibly say, well, maybe.
Well, it's like it was a parallel to like just complete and utter overreach with lack of resources and care. Color,
but also where
have I heard this before?
But the NCR attachment that you're dealing with the New Vegas isn't even actually the direct like mainline government. It's like the fringe of what the NCR's territory was too. So it's kind of like it's almost like frontier NCR, which is why like it's not the best and brightest tools in the shed, and the ones that are competent are the ones that kind of get shafted, which, you know, is... I get what you're saying. I just... you know, I do think it was a little bit... I think it was a little bit of a... I think it was a little bit of taking a good idea and running with it too far to completely decimate the NCR. That's my critique of how that. Like I said, I like the show, but I'd say that's my most annoyed plot point. Because for all the faults of the NCR, it's sure famously inept in some way. I mean, in New Vegas, but like it shouldn't have fallen in the way that it did. I don't. But then again, I mean, that's the thing about Fallout. It it kind of makes a caricature of a lot of things. Which, like, wasn't that the greatest thing too? Like these retards that thought it was like just a critique of capitalism, and then the creators like, no.
Well, it's so shallow. Like the way to look at it like that, it's just so small-minded. It's like, no, only my politics are the only ones that exist, and it's like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Ah! Oh, I'm about to die. No! Dang it.
I'm coming.
Gross.
Well,
I'm
on my way
I got
too.
spat on by green fuckers, so careful.
Alright. I came and I came.
I came, I saw, and I came again. Where are you? Fuck.
But yeah, I think
No! Go away. Back. I want my level upgrades. Go away.
But my concern is a lot of these Zoomers that are impressionable.
Well, it's like, oh my god, half of them are on the fucking animes for weirdos bandwagon. It's like, you haven't even fucking watched what I've seen. Like,
well, it's they take a caricature, like they take an extreme example of like, of like what anime is, and then they misrepresent that as like the fault.
well, it's like, it's so fucking annoying, because, like, I know these kids have not even given a chance. They've never grown up on the same cartoons that I have, or the same anime that I did. And it's like half the time I hear these kids, like, fucking talking about it, I'm like, you are probably the ones who grew up on every Cal Arts, like, TV show that's just brain sludge.
Starting with Steven Universe.
Steven Universe, I thought was decent in the beginning, and then it just started getting weird.
As soon as I seen that character design, I said something's amiss there.
Well, it's like like at first I was like, oh, it's a cute kitsy, cheesy kids fucking animation, and then like all of a sudden like the characters were like dirty dancing together, and then all of a sudden like they fuse, and it's like supposed to like. It's all symbolism. It's very bizarre. Like the one that like got me the worst is my buddy Jack like actually like sent me a specific clip, and it's like literally two of the characters are supposed to be like kitschy, cutesy, and it's like, oh, look at these two characters, they really like each other and they form this like single really cool badass being. Like then this cartoon targeted at kids, they start like fuck me kissing and like just like on each other, macking on their necks, and I'm like, dude, what the like, kids watch this? What the fuck? Like, that's when I draw the line, when something is on purpose aimed at kids and then it's like softcore pornography. That's not what anime is. Most of that shit is made for young adults and adults.
Well, and there is like specifically anime for kids.
Oh yeah, there is
too.
Specifically anime for kids. It's all about potty training, and it's a fucking tiger just dropping deuces in the toilet, and his toilet paper roll sings to him.
I mean,
I would rather have my kids grow up on that shit. That's at least funny.
Like Dragon Ball and One Piece. I mean, that's.
But it's like,
I mean, like if it's
like, it's gonna sound weird, but like I don't think kids growing up on like somewhat violent media is a bad thing. Maybe if it's gratuitous, I start to draw the line. But
No, I don't think
Dragon Ball, you're literally it's Goku, who's basically a human superhero, and he just fights aliens. That's just Power Rangers.
Yeah, no, I know. It's that I'm just saying that's like the gold standard of anime, and it's like, yeah, anybody can enjoy it, and like, you know, maybe like if I want to show that's like a 3-year-old, but like,
Yeah.
I remember watching like Toonami when I was like 10 or 11, and watching Naruto and Dragon Ball and Inuyasha and Yu Yu Hakusho. Although, you know, the one I probably shouldn't have watched late at night was fucking on Adult Swim was the beautiful dub of Shin-Chan. Is not incredibly accurate, but it is beautiful.
Oh please! Like my first experience with anime besides Dragon Ball is I got to see like Fooly Cooly. It was the episode with like I think it's the nerdy theater kid like who's trying to like get with the main guy, and like me and my buddy we were like both I want to say like 8, 9, 10 at the time, and like in that episode, there's like a part where she like jumps into the shower, and me and him just like start like freaking out. And it's like, oh, it's a girl's butt. Like, look, it's a girl's butt, man. I see it, man. It's a girl's butt. And he's just like, it was a magical moment. Oh man. Like, people are missing out by blanket stating anime is for weirdos. There's a lot of good stuff there, and it's like another argument that pisses me off is like, it's too Japanese. Okay, so you're just closed-minded enough and don't want to, like, experience a different form of culture? Alright, cool.
I mean, I think that's stupid.
It's dumb to hinder yourself in such a way.
Yeah, but my problem isn't whether or not someone likes or dislikes anime. My problem is when people misrepresent something. Yeah. Like, I'm not the I'm not the biggest fan of like torture porn horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, not to say that I won't occasionally watch one, but like it's not a genre that like I jump, for joy to go out of my way with. But it's like, well, I'm not going to misrepresent that. It's like, it's sort of like even like something Razor Fist, even though he could be an opinionated prick, like anybody, but like, he's really good at being an opinionated prick. But he said it the other day on a podcast, it's like, he doesn't personally like the gameplay loop of the Souls games. He does, but he's forthcoming with that. Like, he's like, and that's the problem with like these reviewers and stuff. Like, you have to like, if you're not a fan of something, then don't misrepresent it. Like, well, it's like if you're not a fan of anime, don't say it's just for weirdos. Because like, I can pull out a very easy response to that. Like, you're gonna tell me like, here, go watch Grave of the Fireflies. Is that a movie for weirdos? Just like
Spirited Away, like an all-time classic.
No. Sure, like Spirited Away, I agree, all-time classic. But then the retards could be like, oh, it's too Japanese. But like, no, go like you take a movie like Ghost in the Shell or what's another one?
I feel like
When the Wind Rises.
I feel like a failure. I can't find this fucking lavender.
I got 3 of them.
Where?
Just running around.
Just what?
Here's one. See it? Right here. But no, I know what you're saying. It's like these people are closed-minded. I mean, I'm somebody, if it's something good, I'll watch a fucking Bollywood movie if it's
Bollywood's such... Oh, it's so amazing. One of my favorite recent Bollywood trailers is this really jacked, like, buff, like, man's man. And he's got, like, a brother in the movie who's a complete and total schlub. And, like, a guy was, like, messing with his brother. And he just goes into this elaborate martial arts, like, beatdown. Meanwhile, all the women in the room are swooning over him. And the only guy he gives a fuck about is this balding, schlubby dude. Who's like, thanks, bro. You always have my back.
Oh man, I watched a series of the Japanese like samurai films. I think I sent the name of it to you and another person.
Oh. I missed that text.
It was. I know. You know, I'm gonna do the next Almighty Lolly stream. I'm gonna have him record a soundbite, and it's gonna be Fred. You missed something important in the group chat. I need you to go back. Like, oh here, wait. No, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm not trying to be a jerk.
Okay.
What is the next movie review that Almighty Lolly's gonna do?
Oh, damn it. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, I'm hurt. I'm fucking hurt, Fred.
I missed the Discord message. I didn't check the Discord when he dropped it.
I sent you the fucking link.
I
All
forgot!
It's whoa. Okay, it's okay.
What's the movie?
I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. Can I tell you what
What
it
is
is?
it?
Can I tell you what it is now that I got you? I even said like the Clockwork Orange image. I'm like, I want this fucker to see. I'm gonna fucking strap him in a chair and open his eyeballs with a fucking head, whatever the fuck. Because listen, when I seen what his next video was, Fred, when I tell you now, you're just gonna understand the depravity of my inner machinations. His next movie, retrospective, is the 2004 Thomas Jane Punisher film.
Oh.
Fred, do you know what happened when I heard that? Do you know what happened?
Oh, probably the same thing that just happened to me right now. I gotta get a new pair of pants.
That's what I was like.
It's such a
God
good
damn it.
movie. Watch that movie. It's really fucking good.
And it's a perfect balance of like action, drama.
Well, it's literally just Punisher. It's literally just Punisher Max if you took out like Kingpin and replaced him with Judge Volta. It's just Frank going up against the mob.
Punisher Max, dude. Do you know how happy that makes me that someone else knows about Punisher Max?
Oh man.
Do you remember? Not to get too sentimental. Do you remember Borders, the bookstore that used to be at the mall? Is that really cool?
Oh my god. So many good things died in that fucking miserable place.
And it was always better than, not that I'd go to Barnes and Noble every now and then, but it was always better than Barnes.
Well, it seems like Barnes and Nobles was just like a collection of books you could buy, and hey, we also have Starbucks.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad.
But Borders had like their own in-house coffee shop on the second floor of it, and you had like the escalator you go up. But when I was little, my mom would take me to Borders like practically every week, and I still have like a suitcase full of like Ultimate Spider-Man comics and
I know where this is going.
Mainly Spider-Man and Batman, but she'd also buy me some Punisher comics. And one time, not as often though, but because she took me to see the fucking movie, which I don't know if that was, I don't know if most parents would take an 8-year-old to see the Punisher, but she did, and it was an amazing thing, and I really appreciated it. And like, there was a bunch of like these like fucking edgy goth like high school kids watching the movie too, and they were like impressed that I was in there watching that movie. It was kind of a cool moment, It's
a good fucking movie.
back when you were a little kid and like the teenagers were actually kind of somewhat cool.
It's like because like the thing while we were growing up is there was so much acceptance and so much openness, and every single time like a person got the opportunity to like just share like their hobby with the next generation, there was just a look of elation in their eyes. It was a really cool moment. But now for whatever reason, the thing is like everybody's trying to tear everything down, and it's like just by virtue to prop up the fucking miserable thing that's like, for one, a lesser sort of thing to begin with, and for two, it's just empty in the first place to like just be so callous. Like, it's so weird. Like, it's hard to explain. I'm not properly forming my thoughts, but it's so bizarre just to see this next generation take everything I love and not want anything to do with it, to the point that they would rather just burn it all down and sift through the ashes and be like, hey, I found this thing that's kind of okay that's like this other thing that I hate.
They're just a very apathetic group, and there's obviously
I mean,
like,
I don't even know if it's apathy. I think it's the brutal, like, sort of.
they were also kind of given a fucked up like lot in life.
Well, it's like it's the brutal, like, natural evolution to cancel culture. Now it's not just canceling a person; it's canceling an entire thing because no, the only thing that deserves to exist is my thing. Your thing doesn't deserve to exist in any form.
You know, the one hope is, like, assuming that they don't try to, like, stonewall Trump, that maybe just, like, the sheer recovery of this country that he can, like, help institute might be, like, the wake-up call for a lot of these.
I'm still a bit cautious. I'm still a little cynical. I have a feeling there's going to be some fuckery that goes on. But I have a feeling with the ultimate... like the ultimate people's person, like Elon Musk. Like, I have a feeling that Spurg's gonna, like, drag us into, like, utopia. Like, real utopia, where nobody fucks with anybody and everybody just gets along.
What about the Bring Me the Horizon song, Utopia, which is Y-O-Utopia.
Yeah, almost like MTV. MT Nation. Empty us of deprecation.
You know, those two songs are both, like, pointing at the same problem, just in different ways.
My favorite is the Matthew Effect, because it's literally him singing about a fucking selfish twat, like, being a fucking nuisance to everybody.
That song Jenny also hits home.
Oh, yeah, Jenny. We're talking about the band Nothing More. Listen to it. It's an excellent band. Have I ever sent you anything by Silent Theory? They're another good one.
No, but I'm aware of them. Nothing More in their past few albums puts clips of this philosopher Alan Watts talking about shit. And do you know what happens when I hear those clips?
Yeah.
While they're like playing guitar? Do you know what that does to me? It's pretty bad what it does, because this guy's like talking about like just these he's a I'll tell you who Alan Watts is. He's this guy that brought like the idea of Buddhism to Western audiences, like Zen Buddhism and like Hinduism, and it's like, but he also like connects it to like Christianity and stuff. Like basically like, hey, these are different philosophies, but they're both kind of aiming at these like very noble, insightful things.
Like, it's a humanistic, like, sort of point of view.
Yeah. But it's concerned with like spirituality, but just in a more like universal sense.
Yeah, sort of thoughtful, sort of like, why get bogged down on like the small details when like you're so much bigger?
That might not be. I know that might not be like Karl Benjamin's point of view, since he's now a Christian Marxist or whatever the fuck you want to call it. By the way, that's the James.
He did not. No. He did not call himself a fucking Christian Marxist, did he?
No, he didn't.
So you're just having to go. Okay.
Listen, I'll tell you why I'm going to go at it though, because like this whole oh fuck, I didn't have my grapple hook equipped.
Did you have the light? The light. You're not dead, are you?
No, but James Lindsay, who I'm not even the biggest fan of, because like he said some stupid shit. Like I don't want to open up the Catholic Protestant debate, but I'll
touch it a little bit. Like, give it some foreplay.
Well, my problem is like, you know, I'm one of these people that I just want like Catholics and Protestants to get along, and like, okay, yeah, there might be some differences in like some interpretations, but like 99% of the shit we agree on, so why make a...
We're not so different, you and I.
You know? But like, you know, sometimes there's people that are Protestants that, and I'm not saying that there aren't Catholics that do this, I'm sure there are, but like you know, like if you say like the prayer to like Saint Michael the Archangel, they'll say, well, that's like an act of idolatry and that you're basically committing heresy. And it's like, okay, look, I understand that not everybody likes the prayers to saints. It's not praying to the saints. It's praying for.
It's like, praying to the concept. It's praying to the altruistic, like sort of angelic nature.
Well, it's not even that. It's like it's praying to them. It's praying for them to ask God, since the idea is that they're probably in heaven, to basically, since they're probably a little bit closer to God since they're in heaven, to ask, basically for God to help you. But like they're basically an intermediary. But I understand like why people don't like that. Like I'm not, I understand.
Well, it's called being.
that, but it's like.
It's called extending the olive branch. It's called meeting them halfway.
But yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like I understand why some people don't like that. I mean, there's the point. Like, okay, that's not your cup of tea. But like, you can't you can't say a group of 1.3 billion Christians are paganists because you don't like the one way that they do things. It's like, just like, I wouldn't like it. I would personally disagree. Like, if someone said, well, most Protestants don't do communion every weekend, so they're like, they're committing heresy. It's like, no, I don't think that's true. I think that like there's just a disagreement in like it's a disagreement in ceremony, and people are making this into like a huge issue. And by the way, a lot of the, can I say faggots yet? Have we gone far enough? A lot of these like there's also these group of like these Nick Fuentes Catholics.
They aren't even fucking Catholics.
No, and they're like these like very like, they call themselves like traditional Catholics. They couldn't even fucking recite a passage from.
They couldn't even read a fucking passage from the Bible. This is all boring. Why am I reading this? When does Goku fight Frieza in the Bible?
Like, my point is, my one issue with James Lindsay is he has a very binary way of thinking with like people. Like it's like you're either on my side or you're not, and I can understand why he's gone to that point, but at the same time, it's like, well,
it's so close-minded.
Sometimes you're gonna have disagreements with people, and that doesn't automatically make them your enemy. Like, even Sargon, I wouldn't consider Sargon to be an enemy of conservatism. I just consider Sargon to be someone that has a chip on their shoulder over past like embarrassments, and they've made that into like,
well, it's like for whatever reason, like he seems to grow past it, but then he regresses. It's the weirdest fucking thing. Like, it's like, oh, finally Sargon's making a name for himself again, and now he's fucking it up because he can't stop spurging the fuck out.
Yeah, like for a while I was listening.
Well, it's like I was listening to Lotus Eaters, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And so, like, then all of a sudden, just like slowly, like the little fucking narcissistic ticks start coming back, and I'm like, oh, dude, you haven't fucking changed a bit. It's just heartbreaking because you want to give people the second chance. It's like when Sargon said, "Hey, let's give Ian Miles Chung another chance. Like, we need to be the bigger people here," which at the time, commendable, very respectable. I saw no problem with that.
Yeah. Although Ian Miles Chung,
he's a fucking piece of shit. But it's like, it's the same thing. You want to give these people a second chance. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But every single time, they just can't help themselves. And it's tiring.
It seems like every, like, course correction that Sargon does at first seems like it's impressive, but then it turns out to be superficial. Yeah. Like, the whole... Like, the analogy I even used is like a sharp kind of ad hominem was like you traded your Applebee's management like out attire for these fancy suits, but it's really just like you skinned the look of the new suit. You really didn't take the ideas with you. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like he wants the skin.
Not you. I'm talking to this guy. Timur, let go.
Sometimes I need to. No one's allowed in. This guy is looking at me.
He just wants to tell us that you're not allowed in. Guys, you can't come in, guys. But you were saying? Sorry. Oh, well, it's like these people want like the aesthetics of like the Roman Empire, like, which I can kind of understand the appeal of, but they want to build it on like ideas like Marxism and shit. Like that's a real bad idea. We tried that. It's called communism. Communism literally fucking never works.
Well, it's like what you said, that what Razorfist said. It's like you cannot, even if you are the noblest person, you cannot bear the weight of the ring, this corrupting force.
It
Because
absolute
it
power
actually-
corrupts absolutely.
It's why so many of these Zoomers that are conservative, though, are falling into like Sargon's like lure of this idea, because it is in some ways appealing, just like for leftists, like the verbal diarrhea that Hassan Piker spews is appealing to a lot of young, like misinformed minds, because it makes it in some ways it makes sense to like someone that's not fully aware of the world. Like if you're just like a fucking 17, 18-year-old that doesn't know your fucking, doesn't know shit about the world, these ideas are going to be almost intoxicating. Like, oh, that's why the world's fucked up. This and that. Oh, it's just and it's like the problem is that's not the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is human history has always been fucked up, and the one redeeming quality in the past 200 years has been governments like, for all of our flaws, governments like the United States at least have given, at times, people the opportunity to have a better life.
Well, it's like that's
reason
what
why
America
it's
was
not
built
happening-
on, the idea of being free to like make your own decisions and like just try to make it your own way.
And it's not because those ideas are corruptible that we've lost the American dream. It's because people like Sargon are using the same evil ring, the same evil tools. And it might seem more noble what they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, they're still using the same corrosive shit. They're still, does that make sense? I know that's kind of a messy statement, but it's like,
well, we're just warming up right now, so we'll get there eventually.
I'm not even liquored up, Fred.
Don't worry, I'm gonna hit my. If I get bored enough, I might hit my vape just to see what happens. Yeah.
I wish I could hit a vape. Although you can just you can literally buy like recreational weed now, right? Like full blown, full tilt. Yeah.
Pretty much. But it's like,
Yeah, that's like that's another thing. Like these like Gen Z conservatives are doing. It's like, oh, By the way, I'm not saying like if somebody chooses not to drink alcohol, like
that's
I'll
fine.
respect that. I think that's but like this weird kind of like almost return to like wanting prohibition again. Like I literally saw like
that's not fine.
No, that's the problem.
Literally the worst idea in the world starts with, I think the government should.
Well, that's the problem. The problem is like, what our country was built on was like establishing limits for government, and only the only purpose of government is to protect our rights and to limit their powers for the only purpose of protecting our rights. But ever since like the 60s, there was the nanny state that got introduced. It's like it's not classical liberalism that's fucked up our world.
Somebody's
It's people that have wanted to destroy it.
Oh, this is a grave for like a pet. That's sad.
The problem is,
Can I literally not see these herbs unless it's at night? That's annoying.
Midnight Bride.
Well, I guess we gotta wait till darkness and then dick around with the fucking volatiles trying to find these glowing fucking herbs.
We're gonna get violated by the
I'm gonna
volatile.
get my fucking ass turned inside out. Can't wait. Where's the nearest safe house? There's one near here. North of here. Kinda.
I want some of these these misinformed people. I want them to go to Poland and ask a Polish person.
Polish person.
Polish person. Polish person. Yeah, a Polish person. Yeah, my fucking mouth is dry, Fred. It's not. It's drier than Nick Fuentes at a Hooters.
All these women. This is gay.
All right. Now my mouth is wetter than Nick Fuentes at a Chippendale. I'm dead. I just got butt raped by a zombie.
Oh no, I hope this zombie doesn't come bearing down on me with his thick, meaty paws and his giant, throbbing cock.
Well, at least I only have to deal with it for 12 seconds.
God damn it. Let me save my friend. Ah, fuck, you're dead. God damn it. Fuck.
6,500 survivor points lost.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's not that bad. I've done worse.
To be fair, yeah. I've lost a lot more than that.
There's been times where I've lost like over 15,000, I think, once.
Yeah, like the amount of XP you can lose just by virtue of like making one mistake.
The second game doesn't seem to have that as much, right?
It kind of does. It kind of does. I think it's mostly at night, though. You basically lose your bonus if you get killed at night. Excuse me.
So basically, you gotta willingly... Yeah, all right.
I hiccuped and I sucked in an air bubble. Ew. Ew. What the fuck?
But going back to Polish people, you know, they lived under the oppression of the Nazis and the communists, so they could tell you that those are both like two sides to the same shit coin.
Well, it's like
You know?
another thing. Like, speaking of commies, anybody wearing a fucking Che Guevara shirt deserves to get smacked in the fucking head.
Oh, dude, when I was in college, there was a kid that would wear a shirt with the hammer and sickle, and like, I said to someone that I was friendly with there, I said, you know, that's no different than someone wearing a swastika.
Well, it's like,
yeah,
it's literally, but like the thing that like upsets me about the Che Guevara one is this man literally is the antithesis of every fucking thing you believe. But it's like, oh, cool rebel. Cool rebel who like beat and murdered like fucking homosexuals and women and literally just made his own fucking country a goddamn hell state because he was a commie and he wanted all the power all to himself.
By the way, another reason why Trump did really good with Hispanics is like some of these Hispanics come from countries that like experienced what communist governments or totalitarian governments can do. You know? It's like, sorry, not all Hispanics are these like fucking...
Oh, and you want to know another reason like Trump got the Hispanic vote? Trump doesn't automatically assume every Mexican on Earth is here in America legally.
You know,
only liberals do that. Funny. Fucking racists.
Not to open up abortion.
Oh, it kicked you. What the fuck?
Well, actually, I see you standing. You're staring at
Am I staring at the ground on your screen?
No, you're staring at this concrete wall.
One sec. Let me get you back in here. What am I doing?
But yeah, you know, considering that most Hispanics are deeply Christian, this might be a shock to some people, but most Hispanics don't want a carte blanche abortion policy, you know? Like, oh,
yeah, maybe have a little tact with it.
Well, it's like, that was the problem that the Democrats did. It's like, okay, like, there are some Republicans that have a very, like, extreme limit on abortion. Okay, I can acknowledge that. Like, the people that don't even want exemptions for rape or incest. Like, I you know, okay, that's definitely a little bit out there. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, how did the Democrats respond? Oh, a woman's 39 weeks pregnant? Let her crack that baby's skull. Yeah. Oh, the woman gave birth but doesn't want the baby? Just let it fucking...
Murder it, kill it.
Fucking powered. Yeah.
Baby's not human even though it's born.
You might need to re-invite me.
I thought I did.
You did? You did, but it didn't. not explain
Number
it.
2. Oop, I'm matchmaking.
Okay. I accepted the join, but let me see here. You know, we had this issue once before.
Yeah, but usually it let you in like right after.
There we go. Oh.
Huh? Oh.
I think so.
This is a very pretty game.
Yeah. Well, it's also, if you're running it on Series X, they a lot of these games they've actually given patches for that make them even look better.
Yeah, I know. That's weird. Why is Timur talking to me out here? Very bizarre. But yeah, like even New Vegas has like a 60 FPS patch on Series X.
Oh, speaking of which, not to keep jerking off about my new TV, but you know, one of the at least decent things that Sony did was they you know that Uncharted collection that was Uncharted 4 and that story DLC stuff where you play as like Chloe. They actually put an update out so it runs at 120 frames on PS5, and I'm like, oh, that's actually, it's really amazing to see. Uncharted with like very fluid frame rates is actually something to behold, because that the gunplay is, it almost feels like a different game when it's that fluid, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember playing Uncharted back in the day on PS3, like the gunplay was fine, but it always felt a little clunky at times.
Yeah. Well, it's like...
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I always love, like, fidelity and, like improvements on things. But, like, there's an...
Especially frame rate.
But there is also an over-obsession with, like, fidelity these days. It's like, as long as the game looks good, like, we don't pay attention to the fucking gameplay. But it's like, whereas like all these old games getting upgrades, it's like, wow, these games are even better with better fidelity. And it's like, yeah, because they're good games to begin with.
Well, my thing is like, there's a debate between fidelity and performance. I don't know about you, but I would rather have something run at like 1080p in a higher frame rate than 4K.
Yeah, I want something that works right out the box, performs really well, and then at the end of the day is a really, really fun game. That's all I care about.
Like, that was the one thing, that was my one problem, and actually it's something that John Linneman, the guy from, I'd say the most, I actually overall like Digital Foundry. They had one guy there that had some, like, retarded takes about Stellar Blade a while back, but overall most of the people there are actually pretty informed, like, you know, and knowledgeable, and, like, I've never agreed with the criticism that people oh, they're just graphics stores. No, they just hold companies to task if a game doesn't perform right.
Yeah.
Like, especially like John Linneman, he isn't like always looking for like, oh, if a game's got ray tracing or not. It's like, no, if a game does have that though, did they execute it right? They do like a lot of retrospectives too. They'll go back to like Genesis games to talk about the sound design.
Oh, that's
it's actually
cool.
Very informative. Yeah. But one of the things he said was, you know, and I agree with him, and he's, you know, he's also like 15, 20 years older than us, so he has more of a first-hand, like, experience of, like, you know, like when the PS2 launched, you know, we were basically in fucking
diapers.
Diapers when that system came out. But, like, he said, like, the one critique he has about, like, when the 360 and PS3 launched is a lot of developers were more concerned about making games HD, that, like, a lot of times frame rates suffered, because if you go back to, like, PS2 or original GameCube games or original Xbox games, there's very few games on those systems that have performance issues. They all run, like, buttery fucking smooth.
Oh, yeah.
So I love the 360 and PS3 era, but the one critique I do agree with is that kind of began like the obsession with like, you know,
fidelity over performance.
Which it's like, Yeah, you don't want a game that looks like dog shit, but like the other thing too, and I think you would agree with this even more than me. Art style is the
Oh
key.
yeah, our art direction, art design can save like a mediocre game sometimes.
Yeah.
What's funny is that 2 streams ago, Almighty Lolly and Shota, they played the Splatterhouse remake that came out, and I think it was 2010, was it? Or was it 2008?
Oh yeah.
Like the really good
There
one.
was that.
The really good one where you got to play as like you literally got to play as like this fucking rocker boy nerd like with a smoking hot girlfriend, and like then you get gutted by a monster, put on a magical hockey mask and become this giant jacked out murder man, and you go around these levels.
Listen, I gotta run to the restroom quickly. Can you remind me when I get back about Alone in the Dark?
Which one?
Well, just remind me in general of that topic because I have a couple. Of
Okay,
points. I'll be right
but
back.
do you mind if I finish my
Okay,
thought?
myself some. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and use the bathroom,
Well-
but I'm gonna finish my thought for the viewers.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, like you literally play as this like jacked out murder man, like going around fighting monsters, finding nudie pictures of girlfriend, and like the game, like it. I will admit, gameplay semi mediocre, kind of sucks in places. The story, it's okay. It's you're saving your girlfriend. Your girlfriend's hot. You're fighting a literal Dr. Frankenstein. It's cool. You beat shit up, you kill a bunch of stuff, but the art style, it's this like cel-shaded like homage to all these horror movies and the whole Splatterhouse series, and there's just so much love and passion behind it. You can tell these guys, while they were making the game, they were like, we fucking love Splatterhouse. Just give us the IP and let us make something with it. You don't get that anymore, which is really depressing. It's like that's what I mean, that a mediocre game can get saved by like art design. It is because like even like I think it's like 18 years later now, like almost 20 years later. What am I talking about? That would be 2028. 14 years later. Like Splatterhouse is a still very damn good looking game. But then again, that also comes back into the point where it's like it was fidelity, art design over gameplay, because notoriously, game looked beautiful, game looked brilliant, but the fucking gameplay was choppier than a goddamn slideshow at points. Like, there was so much going on the screen. I wish that game got a remaster, because if it was buttery smooth with a good frame rate, people would actually take that game, pick it up, and be like, huh, this ain't half bad. I like the boobies.
Issues. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're unmuted.
All right. Yeah, this fucking headset. I'm wearing my cheap ass headset. It's like a $20 Amazon one, so I don't even know if it's muted or unmuted. So
Hello?
Yeah. Sorry. God, what was I gonna say?
Alone in the Dark.
I heard the new. Well, Alone in the Dark. But, you know, I was listening to you a little bit about that one game, Splatterhouse.
Yeah, the Splatterhouse remake. Really good.
The new Stalker game I heard is really good, but has a lot of like bugs.
I think it's even it's doing the Fallout 76 thing where it's actually broken a couple of PCs too. I think.
So I'm definitely waiting before I download.
Yeah. And for as much as I would love to buy it, like iron out the kinks, guys. But I've heard nothing but good things besides the horrible, horrible bugs.
But Alone in the Dark. First of all, as you know, I bought the Wii version of Alone.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, that's like the Wii version of X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's like a weird it's a weird curio almost. I'm gonna die. Oh, this thing's gonna kill me. It killed you.
I'm dead.
Why did you die? I want to save you.
You
Why did you commit suicide? How could you commit suicide?
know, you remember the black guy that goes to the one other black guy, like the other guy, he goes, why are you gay? Why did you die?
Why are you gay?
Yeah.
Who says I'm gay? You are gay. Don't hurt me.
I'm dead.
I am being chased by the fucking gushy-looking one.
Yeah, those good.
I'm being chased by two of them. Ah, fuck.
Double team.
Okay, they're not there. I think I lost them.
But wasn't there a Alone in the Dark reboot that came out this year? Have you heard anything about it? Was it any good?
It's got the guy. He played Hellboy in the recent new Hellboy, but he also played that guy
in Stranger Things
and Gran Turismo. I've heard it's really good though. I want to play it.
And you get and that is on Xbox.
Yes.
So
I lost that fucker running around fucking van. Eat shit, retard.
If that game's good, or even if it's so bad, it's like it's a bad good game or a good bad. Like I heard, yeah. No matter what it is, that would be a hell of a game to stream.
That does sound like fun. I have been really interested in it, and apparently, like the two different characters have completely different storylines, and like you don't like you got to figure out what's real by what matches up. It's actually a pretty cool concept. I like it. This is like I've sent you plenty of Snaker's like 20-hour long fucking videos, right?
Yeah.
Well, in one of them, I'm trying to remember which one, but in one of them, like he actually goes over like why the concept of a remake and a remaster is kind of disappointing, because it's never the things that were kind of a like underbaked concept that like, hey, if we took a second crack at it, I think it could be something that we could get to work. No, it's always the same thing. It's this sold before, it'll probably sell again, let's just make it again. And it's like Alone in the Dark is actually one of those kind of takes on the best case scenario where it's something that was technically popular and is still pretty popular in video game zeitgeist, but it was a under-ironed sort of concept that kind of got taken, remade, and they just couldn't quite get it right. And then they took that concept and added a couple of modern conveniences and actually took like the base concept of the story and actually put a twist on it that's actually a really cool idea. Oh, hey Ray?
Yeah.
I hear your TV.
What do you hear?
I think I hear your TV.
Oh, I fucking unmuted it.
Oops.
Shit.
You're okay.
Well, hold on. I gotta get the fucking one remote, because if I use the other one...
the one remote to rule them all.
Oh, Jesus. What a fucking...
But, actually, yeah, you should explain this to the viewers, because it's a little humorous.
So, should I give the long story, since I like long ones?
Yeah, give the long version.
So I have like a TV in my bedroom. It was a plasma, and it was dying, so I decided, I get a cheap one, or I go balls to the wall, get something really fancy for my home theater room, and then like put my home theater TV up in my bedroom, which is of course what I went with. And Fred helped me actually very generously move my old TV out and up to my room, and then I got the new one on Black Friday and put it together all myself, which was a bitch. It's 75 fucking inches. It's
big fucking
like
TV,
120
huge,
4K, really good picture. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go all out on a splitter this time, so I don't have like this like mess of splitters. I'll get one that does 4K in at 120 frames, and then it'll do 2 out, and then I can like lower the resolution on the second output and have like very easy setup.
And the real cool part about it was wireless.
Yeah, so like and all I'd have to use is a remote to switch inputs, and it'd be so simple. And I have a sound bar that I got. The problem is the infrared signal to this splitter is the same exact signal as my TV's volume. So we were streaming, or not? No, we were getting ready to stream the Mario fucking party game, and I was like, it was on Xbox, and I was showing Fred the TV and adjusting the volume. Like, why does it keep doing this? Like, it would just
it'd either turn off the splitter or switch the connection for some reason every time you tried to use the remote to the sound bar.
Yeah. And then I finally realized that, the IR signal is the same, and it's causing this problem.
Yeah.
And it's
how much did you spend on that doohickey?
$130.
God damn, what a fucking waste. I'm so sorry, because it was legit a really cool splitter. And I understood, like, the sort of, like, benefit of having a wireless splitter, but, man, like, if only it worked. Well, correction, if only it worked properly.
Well, now I ordered one for like $35, and then I'm gonna have to either order a new capture card or another, like, a secondary splitter. It's like, it's a little bit more cumbersome.
Yeah. I would honestly, like, leave a review on that splitter. Just leave a little warning for people who are trying to get it. Just, like, give them a heads up. Hey, if you have a sound bar, the infrared sensor might mess with the splitter, and it might cause it to start switching channels.
Well, and it's specifically the brand of this TV and soundbar. It's Hisense, which is a Chinese brand, and it's like, I told Fred this. I'm like, this TV was $900, which, it's not a cheap amount of money, but, like, for the size and resolution, that's like, if you went back 10 years ago and you told someone you get a 75-inch 4K TV for $900, they'd be like, that's fucking insane, But I was looking at Samsung's, Fred. There was Samsungs with inferior picture technology, and you know how much Samsung wanted for a TV? And this is before they had the military coup in South Korea. Do you know how much?
Probably 1,000.
You know how much? Like 13. This was their Black Friday.
What?
1300. Yeah.
How do you even convince yourself to pay for a TV that expensive?
Oh no, they have ones that are like 1,700.
How do you even convince yourself to pay for a fucking TV that expensive? By the way, fucking cockbag over here is waxing poetic while shooting his own fucking guys.
So my thing is, it's like, Samsung is now, like, outpriced themselves. They did what, like, Sony, at least, like, if you buy a Sony TV, yeah, they're expensive, but you're getting, like, the reputation of Sony being, like, a master at making those sets. It's like Samsung was always, like, the second best option, and now they're not even the second best option because they've priced themselves out of the market. And for what?
You have not yet made your choice.
Will
you be a dog?
Even Vizios have come a long way. Like, I seen a Vizio set a few weeks ago, and I'm like, this has actually got a great picture on it now.
Well, I told you how my the TV I'm on right now. Not to throw shade, but I wish I could afford half the shit you could get on occasion. But like, the TV I have now is like the TV I've had since I was 15, and this fucking thing's built to last. My cat dumped a jug of water on it and it still works. Meanwhile, my dad's smart TV shit the fucking bed like not that long ago, and it pisses me off still. And like, for a TV I've had since 15, this thing should be long dead. And for my dad's TV, where he's had, like, for a significantly less amount of time, for whatever reason, that one is the one that fucking dies. It upsets me how bad, like, product quality control has become. Ray, you gotta come over here.
You gotta do a ton of research.
Yeah, I know. Like, researching TV's so lame, though. I just fly by the seat of my pants. I usually get lucky.
Crane here.
I threw my fucking phone against the ceiling and it healed itself.
Well, shout out though to High Sense, cause like they had like fucking. It wasn't as it didn't have like all the jizz features this did, but they had like 65-inch sets for like $300 on Black Friday, and I'm like, that's a fucking steal of a deal. Like, this is a
Typical
company
American
that's
bureaucracy.
now look at they're.
Sorry, I listened to the story
There
too.
might be a bunch of there might be a bunch of Chinese spyware on this TV, but you know what? Let them look. Let them look at me shirtless, playing Dying Light. let them get a full view.
By the way,
You had just some.
if Crane was a real CIA spook, he totally would traffic her.
You know, no, Crane's like that Indian dude that Trump's got in charge of the FBI now. That's gonna like fucking tear it apart.
Guess what happened?
I don't know.
Have you seen that guy?
Like, I'm still a little hinky on the Indians. They kind of rub me the wrong way. And that's not a racist thing, it's because I've seen too many Indian people wiggle into positions of power and start fucking everything up.
Wow.
Remember Ajit Pai? Thanks for fucking removing net neutrality, you dumbass dick.
Sometimes they rub women the wrong way too in their own country.
Jack actually explained it to me. He's actually spoken with some like Indian women, and it's actually really depressing how the lame brain retards with all the money just like wiggle and shake their hips, and like all the like nice like well-to-do like Indians like get fucked over because the smelly dickhead like fucking lame brain like man children like they're the best chance for these women to get out of fucking India. It's actually depressing.
Well, I saw a very base racist take on Vivek and this other dude. Vivek is like the Brahmin class. He's like this like Indian, you know, priest class.
Yeah.
And him and Elon Musk are like leading. Well, they're leading the spiritual warfare against the deep state. Where like this Kosh Patel would be like the warrior class and like the caste system, and he's just like coming in there with a club, and he's like, "You have now disrespected Alakdana." It's like, you know. I understand your concerns. I did watch his interview though with Sean Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, I don't know if you know who he is. Is that Sam Hyde?
I make the rules here.
You know what? It might as well be. Actually, Sam Hyde's scarily more jacked. Sam Hyde's like a fucking shaved gorilla. Have you seen that man with his shirt off?
Look, Jeff.
Like, Jesus
Seen him on that
Christ.
fucking. What is that show called? He does Fishbowl.
Oh, yeah.
That's insanity.
You shut off the gas?
The installation of the
Honestly, like, it's working for him. Sam Hyde's still in the limelight.
But I'm all ready now. Turn it back on.
Look,
think that's gonna be your job.
I overall
No can do.
enjoy Sam
I'm too
Hyde. I think
critical to base
he's a
operations.
little bit crazy.
He's a little bit crazy. He's got some, like, weird opinions where he's, like, stubborn about, like, I think he has, like, a deal against, like, getting, like your teeth fixed.
Plus the primary distribution.
No, I might be paraphrasing, but he's got, like, weird opinions about weird stuff. Like, not like anything, like, crazy, but, like, just very bizarre, like, takes about, like, really simple blasé shit.
He's also like deceptively wealthy. Like, I don't think people realize how much money he's got.
Oh, yeah.
But like, he doesn't like it hasn't changed him, which I could say is a pretty admirable thing. Like, he could be like fucking like he could be like a fucking poor wagey, and he'd have the same disposition that he does as like a multi-million. Like,
Maybe.
have you ever seen the video of him just like? Well, no, but like, have you ever seen the video of him just like beating the shit out of his Lamborghini and being like, "Look at this cheap piece of shit," which is like, it's like true. It's like this is a car that's like obviously okay.
Oh,
yeah,
have you
it's
seen
got
the
great
new fucking
performance.
Jaguar? What a...
Fagwire? Is that what you said? The Fagwires they're coming out with?
It looks awful.
It looks
like a fucked up Hot Wheels car, but like not one of the cool ones. One of the ones where they just started making everything out of plastic.
Yeah, it looks like a mid 2000s like Chevy concept car that would like never like you know.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's not even an actual car. That's just a concept. So that's going to be even uglier than the
Did you see the interior, though? It's got, like, this fucking dividing wall that reminds me of a Chinese buffet. It's got 2 giant fucking screens. Why are you dead? I gotta give you health kits. Like, whenever you're low on health, if I can.
Yeah. Well.
Ow.
But yeah, they took like a classy, elegant brand that was like the Alfa Romeo for the British.
Well, it's like all these people, all they're good at is shitting up things that were once great.
I'm kind of sad though. I heard Alfa Romeo's getting rid of their quadrifoglio cars. So those are the ones where they take. It's basically they take the V8 off of a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Basically the same engine, and they just cut 2 cylinders out of it. But it's I'm dead again. It's not my tunnel, Fred. It's not my tunnel.
I'm about to fucking die.
Why do we go through that tunnel?
There's gas I need to get. I need to get the gas.
Are you addicted to gas?
No. If anything, I think Wally's feed has fucking infected my X page, because now all of a sudden I'm just getting like pictures of like either really, really tall women, really, really muscular women, or women just dressed up in power armor and bikinis. I'm not complaining, but like fucking that man, the biggest bit in his channel is that he's like into like fucking giant Amazonians. It's like now all of a sudden my X feed is just like giant Amazonian women, really buff Amazonian women. I'm like, I feel so inadequate.
Just next time I see you, you're gonna be like, "This is my girlfriend." Friend, why is she 7 feet tall and like?
Well, we were talking earlier. You were like, "Yeah, don't knock the Latin women." I'm like, "I still got yellow fever, friend." It's like, "Yeah, but you'd probably get like a half brown one." It's like that's literally just Nagatoro. So yes.
I can't hate on that.
It's a good that manga. I am happy it ended so nicely. And
What, are you one of these people that like happy endings?
I'm one of these people that doesn't see an ending and immediately start bitching about it just to bitch about it. Like, fuck me, the fucking My Hero crowd. I feel sorry for... I feel fucking sorry for the man that made that series, because it is such a thankless fucking job.
First of all, I don't know, I don't understand, look, and I'm not trying to be judgmental, I'm not, sometimes it comes off like I'm judgmental, like, I just don't understand why people do all this shipping shit, but like, at the same time, it's like, okay, if you want to, like, ship characters, like, as, like, your weird fucking twisted...
Well, it's like, it's fine as a thought experiment, it's fine as fucking fetish bait, because, like as soon as you get 2 dudes in a room, like, immediately the first thought is gay, I guess.
But it's like not like you because that's like it's mainly not to be sexist, but it's like mainly these like it's mainly women that have that fantasy.
Oh yeah, the fujoshis, the fucking the dirty women.
But it's like, okay, fine, that's your king, whatever.
Yeah.
But like when you get to the point though where you're
well, it's like they're forcing it on the people. It's weird and obsessive. And then they, like, go at you like the wrath of God the moment you disagree.
Well, and it's like, I don't know how you would interpret the story of My Hero Academia in that way. Like, I don't know how that is your... I don't know how that's your, like...
Well, another thing that I have the biggest fucking problem about is, like, no man on the planet can be, like... in a heartfelt relationship with another man without being like fucking butt fucking each other. Like it actually reminds me. Like I was once watching a video of like Reservoir Dogs, and I was like, in the beginning premise, I was like, okay, this is okay. Like some of these is a pretty cool like thought experiment, like sort of things. Like he's talking about imagery and stuff, and then all of a sudden he's like, Mr. White butt fucked at Mr. Orange, and I'm like, what? Huh? What? Mr. Blonde was getting raped in prison all this time, and he knew Mr. Orange was getting butt fucked by Mr. White. And I'm like, huh? Hey, what? Hold on. What? No. What the fuck are you on about? It's like, why can't two heterosexual dudes just be in a completely, like, platonic relationship? Sorry, I couldn't find the word for a sec. Like, it's so bizarre. It's like, women can't be straight with each other, men can't be straight with each other. The only time women and men can be straight with each other is with another, like, woman or another man. Sorry, the only time a woman can be straight with another person is with a man. Unless we say that's not allowed.
It's weird, though, because, like, this is a generation that's, like, it's like they're like overly fascinated with that.
Well, I've never had a problem with being like, oh, these two would be a cute couple. I have a problem with the fact that it's like, these two are a couple or you're a fucking bigot.
Well, not only that, though, it's like, what was my... I had an idea to bounce off, and you, fuck was it? I don't know, I'm having a Joe Biden...
Oh, your brain farting?
No, like, oh, fuck. It was a pretty good, response, because I agree with you, but, like, okay, you're saying, oh, yeah. So, like, this generation's weird, though, in some ways, because, like, they have, like, these weird sexual fascinations, but then they're, like, puritanical.
It's like they're so fucking brain rotted, but, like, every single time, like, they're like, oh, fucking weirdo, you like boobs.
You're a gooner.
You like boobs that are, like, super huge or, like, really small. You like women in every form. You're gooner.
Well,
meanwhile, every single time you look at their feet, it's two fucking young boys butt fucking each other in superhero costumes.
Well, yeah, but it's like, but this is also a generation that like has now become like they think that their relationship problems is because of pornography. Now, I will say, there's some people. Oh fuck!
I'm somehow not dead. Stop spitting.
Look at I think that if people should be able to watch porn. I do acknowledge that there's some people that like become obsessed with porn and it can cause them to be desensitized. Like I'm not denying that. I think there are people that are it's just like anything, you know. Like there's people that
there's always some people who cannot handle it and cannot differentiate.
Anything. It's like alcohol. It's like alcohol. It's like a drug. You know, it's like if you can't, like, there's just people that won't, like, just because there's people out there that can't handle like a drink or like, you know,
it doesn't mean it should be illegal.
Yeah.
Look, you might like porn of a twin-tailed girl getting ramrodded in the fucking throat. Not my thing, but you can have it. I'm not gonna besmirch you for it. It's allowed to exist.
The one thing I will say, you know, that these retards do have a little bit of a point is like I don't like the necessarily how easy it is for like, you know, young stupid people to get a hold of, but it's like, you know, there's really no way to like prevent that.
The only alternative is like forcing people to use photo IDs, and that's a bad fucking idea.
Slippery slope. Very slippery. It's a very slippery slope.
Why are there so many zombies? Why are you dead already?
I keep dying.
Like, but no. Did your timer run out?
Fred, listen.
Did you kill yourself?
I don't have. I don't have fucking 30,000 med kits, okay? Because I never get a chance to stop at the store. All right?
Oh.
I don't get a chance to stop at the fucking store.
I'm sorry.
Every time we're near the store, you're taking the mission one after another. You're addicted to these fucking missions. I got fucking 20 fucking bajillion dollars and no med kits. I'm like an American with no health insurance.
That is fair.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But no, listen. The reason I died is I keep jumping like a fucking retard, and then a zombie slaps me, and my 2 health goes to 0.
Get you in the butt cheeks.
Well, I just got the zombie in the butt cheeks. How about that?
Gross.
That's why I'm camouflaged. Pure stank of it all. You know what?
Do you have any things to craft med kits right now?
I have no, but I can make 5 Molotov cocktails, I'll have you know.
Oh, nice. I wish I could give you all the shit in my inventory, because I literally don't use it sometimes.
Maybe I can light myself on fire for Palestine. This is an act of extreme protest. Ah!
Tibetan monks back in the day would light themselves on fire for protests. So I'm gonna light this Tibetan monk on fire for a protest. You ever see that episode of South Park? Shevin's going on about a soliloquy about like Tibetan monks like killing themselves to protest the Vietnam War, and they just immediately, without a word, just lights on fire a monk. Mixed messages.
I
miss man.
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That guy got so fucked by Scientology. Like, it literally on his deathbed, they pretended like that they were him to like convince Matt and Trey like that, like we're no longer cool anymore. Meanwhile, this man is dying just because they had the audacity to make fun of their fatty cult.
I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand.
Tom Cruise can bite dick. Fuck him.
I think he does.
Is it John Travolta's dick?
Maybe. I just don't get how someone would like willingly follow a group that was made off in this like schizophrenic science fiction authors.
They're a schizophrenic fucking yuppie. It's literally what if Patrick Bateman formed a cult.
It's so weird though.
Yeah, it's weird. That's why only rich people are involved in it.
No, you gotta imagine that there's like some fucking Scientologists out there. There's just like some poor like redneck somewhere, and he's like, "I'm getting my thetans cleared.
I gotta get my thetans out. I gotta be ready for my reimbursement into the mothership."
Well, it's basically it's also like a Ponzi scheme, right?
Yeah, literally, like pretty much everybody who buys in from the bottom, like, eventually, like, moves to the top and starts fucking everybody at the bottom.
Literally.
Actually, there was another case of this where a woman, like, got, like, basically, it was kind of like Scientology, but different. I forget what the specific organization was, but it was this, like,
Mormon?
It was this blonde lady and this, like, weird-looking, like, Heaven's Gate-looking fucking David Koresh motherfucker. And, like, they were talking about how good and how enriching everything was about this society. And then the society got busted for, like, trafficking women and fucking brutally raping people. It's like, holy fucking goddamn. Like, come on. How do we get into this fucking thing?
Was that cult like that was like operating out of New York? That like
you know what? Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
It was like Like, it began with necks, and, like, he made the women brand themselves or something.
Yeah! Yeah, they did fucking brand themselves. Jesus Christ. How do we...
And he would, like, he'd do, like, all kinds of fucked up shit, like, make them watch, like, fucked up videos, have sex with them.
Yeah, it's really fucking bizarre. And, like, there was a lady who was, like, at the top of this who was doing all the same shit, so... Equality, I guess.
Nexium or something. That might be a drug, but it was like some weird name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. By the way, I know I just made a joke about Mormons. I'll say this: every Mormon I've ever met has been like a very nice person. I take issue with a guy in the 1830s saying that he discovered a lost gospel of Christianity that seems to match his writing style, and
don't worry, guys. I get to have as many wives as I want. Really?
But once again, like anecdotally, every Mormon I've ever met has been a very like nice person. I'm not trying to like dispel their beliefs. It's just like I don't necessarily know what advantage Mormonism has over regular Christianity.
You get to have as many wives as you want.
Well,
I mean, that's the starting point, so...
You can't drink booze, though.
Oh, you know for a fact they definitely do.
You know, not, like, once again, I don't like to, like, target people's religious beliefs. Like, even, like, you know, I don't like to go after, like, Jews or Muslims or whatever. But, like, just to, like, pick on Mormons a little bit. Like, I don't understand a ban on drinking alcohol when there's literally, like, parables of Jesus turning water into wine.
Yeah.
Like, if Jesus saw boring old water, and he's like, you know what these motherfuckers need? They need some wine. They need some alcohol.
I was like I imagine Jesus just looking at these guys like, who the fuck told you couldn't drink booze? What are you, queer?
Yeah, like, if the Son of God is making you wine, it's like,
well, was it the body and the blood thing, guys? Was that too weird? Just have a good time. Fuck's sakes. Oh, sorry. Me sake.
Well, you know, that is the one thing that the Romans misunderstood. They didn't understand that when, like, Jesus was saying the body and the body and the blood, he meant it as, like, you know, a figure of speech, sort of. Well, I mean, like, quite literally in some ways, but, like, Romans took it to be like Christians were cannibals, like they were eating people. Which, you know, the Romans, interesting because, like, you know, towards the end of the empire, Constantine converted to Christianity. But for a while, like, that's one thing, like, Christians were fucking persecuted by the Romans.
Well, it's like people want to talk about the persecution of the Hebrews. Like, the Christians got it sometimes just as fucking bad. Like, there's a famous movie about the Christian persecution of, like, Christians that were stuck in Japan just getting brutally tortured.
Silence by Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, really great movie. But, like, literally, it's so fucked. And it's like I think Jesus Christ in the movie goes on with a soliloquy talking about, like, I suffered for you, and I will remain suffering for you. Damn it!
It's a great movie. I exploded, by the way, Fred, not in a good
Blew
way.
up?
Aye, Commander.
You know what made me explode positively?
What's that?
The alleged controller design for the Switch 2, which apparently
They're releasing their own version of the Duke.
Wow, that'd be really glorious.
Don't worry, there'll be a third-party peripheral.
Nintendo, thank you for finally, like, I know it's a little bit boring, but I'm actually glad, allegedly, you're going to call it the Switch 2, instead of, like, the Switch U, or the new Switch, or some weird fucking naming shit.
Wow, we
like,
finally have a sequel?
Yeah, well, like, and now allegedly it's going to be announced next year. But you know, thank you Nintendo for actually numbering it and not doing something retarded like you usually do. But secondly, the rumored like Joy-Cons, you're going to be able to use your old Joy-Cons like as like a home controller, but like Joy-Cons
always a good touch.
But you're not going to be able to attach the old ones to the new one because the new one's going to use a magnetic attachment system, which actually looks pretty cool. But like they actually made the controllers like substantially larger in the hands, which I'm very happy about because my one criticism of the regular like controllers that come with the Switches,
they are tiny.
Very tiny. They are made for like the hands of like a Japanese waifu.
Yeah, getting my first Pro controller was such a godsend.
Yeah, which, by the way, that's another, not to keep jerking Nintendo's chain, but that's another compliment I'll give to Nintendo. It's pretty much the only console where you can buy like an officially licensed controller, and it might be wired, but you can get an officially licensed controller for $20. You can't do that anymore on PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah, literally every first party controller, bare minimum, damn near $60. It's like buying a new game.
Oh no, they're like.
I think I should watch this from a
they're
distance.
like $70 now, like for PlayStation.
Are you serious? Oh my god! Like. What?
It's crazy.
Like, are these? This is why I hope my fucking paycheck gets fatter, because I'm fucking sick of this shit.
The one I will say, Xbox usually will have like something on sale controller wise. So you can usually get one for like $40 or $50. But even that's like, I remember like the 360 days. Like if you wanted a wireless controller, sure, it was like $50. But you could buy like a wired 360 controller for like 20, 25 fucking bucks. And it's like, what is warranted?
I found Jeff, and the gas is back on.
Wow. Jeff might have been Muslim.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid you're gonna have to find a replacement.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay. Let's stop back at the base so you can get some health.
Thank you.
Pick up a few missions.
Thank you.
Let's race.
Is it?
Ow.
No!
Ah, I got stuck.
Me too.
Hashtag me too. I was violated in a foot race by my best friend.
Oh, Trump's stuck.
Trump grabbed me by the gussy.
Oh.
That's my guy pussy. AKA the little spot that I slit right between my gooch and asshole. Chris Chan told me that's where my real vagina is.
Fred, I'm gonna puke.
don't actually throw up.
You did that to take the lead. It was just how like fucking visceral.
We can survive for the next
Jeez.
Thank you so much.
It was a very visceral description you provided. It was.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Forgive me for the guy. Forgive me for the guy pussy comments.
Well, then you brought up Chris Chan.
He's the one who said it first.
Like, well, Fred.
Man split his fucking ass crack to his gooch just to find out if he had a pussy underneath. Just
Fred,
Jesus.
Please.
I'm sorry. I find it humorously grim.
Oh God, what a fucking freak that man is. And the fact that he somehow somehow has attracted a mate. Oh, God help us.
Oh man, it's a magical thing. There really is hope for all of us bros.
There really, yeah. There's like that motherfucker can like pull like. First of all, a woman with all of her
What's on your
limbs.
Mr. Crane, are you familiar with a man named Yasif Dal?
Dahl.
It's a fucking miracle.
Of course.
I don't even
Vulcan
know.
Petrol Engineering. He's the richest man in Haran.
That's exactly right. And Mr. Dahl has need of your service.
Well,
I'm glad he voted for Harris.
Most of his employees were evacuated, but his 2 chief engineers are still here in the slums. They're brothers.
you know what though? Like, what if like some weird way that like Christian becomes like a fucking like alt right, like Nick Fuentes garbage?
No, it's even better than that. He just becomes like one of these like
Idiosyncratic.
one of these like fitness alpha male gurus, and he gets really jacked.
Mr. Dahl would like you to assist them to get the project back on
I'm
track.
gonna tell you about.
He's autistic enough.
Doing what?
I'm gonna tell you about pre-workout.
I bet you Chris Chan could get some trafficking going.
Removing obstacles.
You're gonna use your recycle.
Oh God.
I'll think about it.
Okay, ladies, it's time for the recycling process. Here's your Fanta.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Women are biting off their own tongues just to resist the fate that is Chris Chan.
Take this.
No, I would do a shot-for-shot remake of the movie Split starring Chris Chan.
Yes, but Brecken won't.
When he turns into the monster, he's just painted blue running up and down the hallway.
Brecken says we need
Although I
to
cast
secure
one of the
that
girls that he abducted
Too
as
many
Barbara.
journals, right? So I put together a new
No, Barbara's just the old lady making racist remarks about Chinese people.
turn it on. It'll torch a volatile at 200 feet. It would
Poor,
be fucking
poor Robert
nuclear.
Chandler. Like, I know the guy was far from perfect, but that man did not deserve the personal hell that his
Wait a
wife
minute.
and
Are you talking about the
Spawn
UV firewall?
gave him, you know?
Biggest UV lamps
Like,
in the
you could
hemisphere.
just tell that man was a
That system
tortured
didn't
soul
work. It
that
was a
tried,
disaster. I mean, when it
admittedly
failed,
not
it destroyed
perfectly,
the
but at least
bridge.
tried his best to, like, kind of...
Well, it's like he did the most. He did the smartest thing. This internet shit, I don't care about it. I don't understand it. Knock it off. Get the fuck off it.
Sure. But here's the thing.
Well, like,
but no. Fuck it. Get off the internet.
So the only way to tell which ones
if he
still
had, like,
work
quit the
is to
internet,
collect
like,
them when the
even
system
by,
is
like,
powered on.
2008 or 9,
Night run.
he would have just been remembered as this weird kind of, like, cultural artifact, and might have, like, actually
You'll be
found,
pitch
like,
black bridge
a
with
job,
whole
might
bunch
have
of
maybe
problems.
met a girl
Yeah.
that wasn't just some
You know what?
nutcase that, like,
Maybe
like,
Brecken's right about
But
this,
the
Like, what
story
if-
just
I wonder
kept
what
going.
but it's a damn shame.
I wish we could somebody could interview that girl though that he's dating, because I gotta know, like, is it like the kind of like women that want to marry serial killers when they're in prison?
Maybe.
Like, is it like that? Like,
Actually, that's not a bad point. You might be onto something. Can we still? Okay, now we can go up the elevator. Cool.
it can't just be for the lulz. There's too much depth to it for that.
Well, there was that one lady who was trying to literally like it was a lady who was convincing Chris to fuck his mom, and then like she was gonna gaslight him into killing himself just for the giggles. So there are people like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the chick he's with is like that fucked up. That bitch in some ways is more fucked up than Chris Chan. That one that egged him on, like that bitch should be in a fucking padded room.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, she was fucking.
And she was like Zoe Quinn disgusting too.
I have to get these meds to Lena.
She wasn't she like, not that people. I don't condone doxing, but people did dox her, and from what I gathered, she was in like a medical school program or some shit. I'm like, You know, not that I like doxing, but if you're doing that kind of shit online, you should not be anywhere in a setting like working in a hospital. That is, if you have that level of darkness in your personal life, that is not good.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like weird, like how twisted some people can turn out.
You know about a scout named Christoph?
The new kid, huh?
But then again, you just have to imagine, like, you know, most people, I'm sure, decent people who work in hospitals, but like, there are horror stories of like, there was some bitch that was at a hospital and she was like overdosing people with diabetic medicine and killing them, and it was like they attributed up to 17 deaths, and she did it out of just some kind of sadistic thrill. It's like, you know, it's kind of sad that there's people like that that fall through.
But then again,
the system.
that's been happening to Chris for years. Just look at fucking Blue Spike.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, what was that whole group? That whole group that went after him, and it was like, even back then, there was like people that were like just trolling him for like the lols, but there was like people that were like, even back then, like the other trolls were like, no, dude, that's too fucked up.
Yeah.
Like there was people even back then that,
and
like,
then they would fucking lie and say it was like, we're just doing it so Chris betters himself. If you wanted to do that, you would actually help him instead of just fucking harassing him.
Yeah. Like, I think, like, okay, it's like there was some trolling that was funny, but like there was some that just fucking crossed the line into like what kind of fucking person does decide there? It's just like the people that troll Wings of Redemption. Not that Wings of Redemption's a great human being, but like there was legitimately people that were like basically like fucking threatening him like day and night. It's like you're not any better than this person if you're putting yourself in that like kind of fucking mindset.
Whoa, hang on a minute. Reckon these people still need you. Okay, just give me some time, all right? There's got to be another way, a better way.
Fine. I'll wait.
It's like some of the people that go too far over DSP. Like DSP, yeah, he's a fucking internet cockroach. He's kind of he's scummy.
Impossible to kill.
But like there's people that like really overstep like the difference between trolling and like legitimately like maybe.
Well, it's like when Jim came into like all these like weirdos like little like safe space and said, "Hey, do you imagine like Phil gripping you by the back of the head as he busts in your mouth?" And it's like, it's like, yeah, you guys, there's nothing to you. You're just a bunch of awkward nerds acting like you're the biggie Billy badass of the internet. Fuck you guys.
You know what they remind me of? Did you ever? This is such a fucking out there example, although I think you'll agree with it. Did you ever see the You ever see the movie Spy Kids, and then they did like the one where they're in like the virtual reality world?
Yeah, that was the 3D one.
Yeah, that one was weird.
3D, what a weird gimmick we had to grow up with.
And that was like a really bad 3D movie. It wasn't even
it was like a weird, like kind of dumb one.
That's a weird series to look back on, because like the first movie is kind of like this fun kids movie. The second one was like
it was all right.
A little bit of it. And then the third one, and then Sylvester Stallone was in that. If you remember.
Yeah, he was in the third one. I mean, I still have a soft spot for the third one because it's just a bunch of fucking wacky bullshit. And it's like, it's video games, kids.
It's a nostalgia trip, but it is not a good movie. It's a fun romp though, just from like. But do you remember there was like those two like cool kids in the virtual world?
Oh yeah, I think one of them was Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Drop him! No, I'm just kidding. I like Raheem.
Elijah Wood was like the coolest shit back then.
Yeah, because he was Frodo. He motherfucker made it to Mordor and lived.
They're doing the HBO is doing Harry Potter, and they're making what's his name?
Sirius Black.
Alan Rickman's. They're making him a black guy.
Stir my ass and watch everything.
What? No, not again.
Yeah.
Sirius Black is black.
They're making woke Harry Potter, Fred.
They've been trying to do that because they want to stick it to J.K. Rowling. But are they really doing this again? First we had Black Jet Black, now we're getting Black Sirius Black. Fucking stop it! You guys, literally, you there, you wokies, you're the racist. Don't you see? Don't you get it? You're a parody. You're not real.
You know, part of my morbid curiosity, though. By the way, this probably is going to be my last mission for the night because, you know, it's getting a little bit late. But I honestly, if they're going to go this route, I just want them to fucking fully embrace it. Like, I just want, just for the lulz, I just want a fucking shit show. Like, I want like the fucking cunt from Wicked to be Harry Potter. Like, I just want to see the end result of their
depravity.
How did you survive? Yeah.
It just teleports you back up to the top if you jump off. Go ahead. Just jump.
I'm good. I tried it. I didn't like it.
What you want to do? You want to do the story mission, or you want to do the searchlights mission?
Searchlights, because that'd probably be quicker. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that we're just going to the bridge to find light bulbs. Oh, what? Oops.
All right. But yeah, I mean,
you need to grab anything from the store on this floor.
Let's see. Where's the store on this floor?
Yeah. Have you ever? I'm probably preaching to the choir, but if you ever see gauze and alcohol, that's how you make med kits.
Yeah.
Unless you also have the blueprint for herbs.
Yeah.
One of these days in our off time, we just got to go around just scrounging up supplies for you.
Well, I could do that in my own save though, right? Just so.
Yeah, you can do that with your own save in your inventory.
That way we're keeping the audience titillated.
Mm-hmm. instead just picking flowers on stream.
No, but we were
slowly. We just start talking about what? Oh, Bitcoin's going back up.
Past $100,000 now.
How many Bitcoins do you have?
You know, Fred. You know, when we were in high school, I was almost going to buy a couple of Bitcoins because they were like $200 a piece. And I was going to buy like 2 of them. Do you know how much I'm kicking myself right now?
I'm actually still happy that I have Nvidia stock because that's still doing well.
You lucky fuck.
What's up? You know Jafar, right?
This guy looks like Ronnie the limo driver.
It kind of does.
For what?
He wouldn't talk about it on the radio.
It's kind of sad because
you have to take the zombie's cock and stick it in your own ass.
It's very sad that Howard, like, during COVID, like, lost his mind.
Well, it's like all these lefties. They got insulted by the poors telling them, hey, fuck you. We can't survive like you because we don't make as much money as you. You don't get it, so shut the fuck up.
It's the sad thing, though, is he was the voice of, like, the everyman. And it's so sad when someone like that loses, like... He lost the plot.
Well, not to be. This is gonna sound racist, but he was always a fucking shiesty Jew. I'm not gonna lie.
That is true, but that is true. But
I hate to admit the stereotype, but like legit, that's what he became, and that's what he always was. He just finally showed his true colors.
To some degree, I think there's some truth to that, but I also think that, like, as soon as he entered psychotherapy, it unburied the worst in his mind.
He went through yeah. Never go to a psychotherapist unless they're actually trying to fucking help you. Is probably one of these true doctors. What if Howard Stern comes out as a tranny?
Well, but here's my problem.
Yeah.
He irregardless of whether or not he was like, always this way under the surface, he at least always had his finger on the pulse.
Well, he at least always had the audacity to crack jokes about everything.
Well, another thing too is like he had some very talented people that he had around him. Like some very interesting voices. Like Keemstar kind of like ripped off his shtick with Lol Call. Like that's just the whack packers that Howard used to have. And it's like,
well, ironically, Keemstar successfully did what Ethan Klein wanted to do. Because Ethan Klein, he admitted he just wanted to be Howard Stern. Because he's a faggot and a Jew.
Jesus Christ, Fred.
I hate him. I hate Ethan Klein. He's such a fucking massive fucking prick. And he probably ruined the internet for years to come. It's never going to be repaired because of what that man did. Just by winning for a good reason, he ruined everything. It annoys me.
Sure. In the words though of Patrick Bateman, let's
do it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
Yeah, because,
Okay, fine. I'll just stick with Ethan Klein can suck my fucking dick.
Look, I mean, I will say, like, the stereotype Ethan Klein does kind of,
he's a miserly motherfucker, and he's one of these other guys who could not stand the fact that people looked him in the eye and were like, you're a fucking idiot. You don't get it. You don't live our life. Shut the fuck up. You don't have to worry about things that normal people worry about that. Shut the fuck up. And these people just can't handle it. They always go back and they're like, but I'm not the crazy one. You're the crazy one. It's like everybody just looks back. No, it's you.
It's
I mean,
interesting because when it was very interesting because
it will always disappoint me that he did win for a good cause, but he ultimately ruined the cause. It kills me.
The other thing though too is like there was a shift in like Ethan Klein the moment he left New York City and went to LA, which is
weird because New York is fucking horrible. I want to get away from here.
Yeah, but like, look at New York though. Even New York City, there's a grit to it. Like,
well, it's like the way I always explain New York to people is that like if you find all right people here, like the people are as good as they can come. Like, we are very stay in your own lane and stay the fuck away from me, like, to a lot of strangers, but in a pinch, we'll help you out of the goodness of our heart most times. But, like, the city and our governance and our state, it's all just bad. And I think New York is probably one of the most underrated and beautiful states in the country. It's just everything else about it sucks, so I don't blame people for not wanting to come here.
The thing is, though, there has been a shift. Like, New York...
Oh, dude, like, literally, New Jersey almost flipped red, and that would have flipped the whole fucking state, because most of this state is already Republican already.
Yeah.
It's just because we're stuck with the Electoral College, we can't have a proper vote, and New York is always going to be, like...
No, the Electoral College is the only thing that saves, no, I don't... That's... I gotta disagree with you on that. If we had a statewide Electoral College, it'd actually be a much more beneficial thing because it would prevent the abuses of the city.
Well, the biggest issue I have with the Electoral College is it's all very, like... The fuck? That thing just spawned right in front of me. But, like, the biggest issue I have with the Electoral College is it's very wealth-based. Wherever all the money is, that's where the voting is gonna go. That's why, if, like, New Jersey never fucking flips, that's why we're always gonna be a fucking blue state, because all the wealth is in the cities.
I respectfully but strongly disagree with that. I think that the Electoral College is the only thing that keeps the safety guard from.
Convince me. Explain to me what the Electoral College is.
Well, people, and I think you're making a very good point. Your point is that
I think the Electoral College is fuck busted.
Well, when you put it that way, then I can't fucking fiddle your argument. But what you're saying, I hate. Well, you're not dead. You are. You fucking are dead. No, what you're saying though, the Electoral College can be like controlled by wealth, but the Electoral College is just the it's taking the districts that are a lot now. There is a truth to that in the sense that because so the total number of electoral colleges equal to our the seats in the United States House of Congress, right? So it's like 435. That's why you need 269 to win. So your point, though, there is some truth to, because like some of these electoral college districts are in states that are gerrymandered, which New York is, New Jersey is. However, the Electoral College can also act as a safety valve, such as it did in 2016, and it could have in 2020 if the fraud wasn't as widespread, because Trump technically lost the popular vote in 2016, and if the Electoral College was not gerrymandered, it would have, even with all the millions of votes of fraud, would have stayed in place. Look, I think that you're right in the concern. My problem, can I just say this?
I'm not going to interrupt you.
Could be. Well, no, I know, but like, I'm being poetic. I think there could be a better alternative to the Electoral College the way it is, but here's what I'll say. Until we have like a ironclad accountability of our popular vote, for instance, I don't want that to go away just because the risk of fraud. If we switch to just purely popular vote, the risk of fraud as it currently stands would mean that there would be less of a like safety guard from that fraud.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I understand. It's easier to fix numbers if you're counting on a binary.
Where like the other one is just based on like, because I'll tell you the original purpose, because people like bitch about the Electoral College, and I understand why, but the reason why the founding fathers put it in there was they were worried about the tyranny of the majority.
Yeah.
But they are also worried about like, and this is actually I think something that you'd be like, oh, that's actually a good point. They were very worried about urban areas with higher population densities outweighing the concerns of rural areas with lower population densities, which is why, like, you know how when you even look at like the fucking state map of New York State, and it's like 90% red.
Yeah.
If we had a statewide electoral college that was like accurate and not gerrymandered, New York State would like be like solid Republican.
Yeah.
And that's razor fist solution. You know, I do think that there's problems with that. I think
no solution is going to be 100% perfect, because there's always people who are going to take advantage of it, and there's always people who are going to flout the system and like cheat anyway.
And I will say, you know, I did like a self-reflection. You are right. The problem is, you know, at least if you have the popular vote, it can't. Assuming that you could get rid of the fraud that's widespread, it would be the most fair way of like determining who should.
Yeah, because it's an individualist basis.
It's like, and it's pure democracy.
Yeah.
Right. It's more democratic than an electoral college. With electoral college
stuck in the roof of a bus. What the hell?
But how do I put this? You're the one thing that I think, you know, and even look at, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what, Fred's actually got some points, and maybe.
Well, it's like
maybe
the only reason, like you said, the gerrymandering. The only reason why I am upset with the way the electoral college works currently is because
it's because of gerrymandering.
Yeah, it literally leans to the most wealthy and affluent parts of New York, and that is not the whole of New York.
Well, and also, here's the other big problem. That fucking Supreme Court case where it basically said that you can put unlimited money in politics.
Yeah,
I think
that is a bad statement.
But most, you know, the average Trump donation, like the average supporter donated like $100.
Well, it's like the way the Kamala campaign bragged about the amount of their donations and the amount of money that they had, and basically in the end they just laundered it anyway, probably, allegedly. I have to say,
it was all a bunch of dirty, corrupt, pedophile billionaires that
pretty much
gave money to, because they wanted her to win so they could cover up all their fucking sick acts.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Am I missing something? Oh, there's an entire... Ray, I'm retarded.
No, you're
There's an entire upper floor. Fuck me. Ah! Ah! What? Whoa. I lived.
The boy who lived.
The boy who came.
But you are right, and that's a rightful concern.
I mean, the way I say it, I can understand how it can be misconstrued as small-minded. In a way, it kind of is. But it's I see this pattern over and over again, and the only recourse I have is basically the razor fist argument. Throw it out, start from scratch, because obviously it's not fucking working.
Well, the problem is the foundation is solid. It's just that they've twisted it to the point where it's
All right. I think we have all the bulbs.
But
I'm dead.
None of this truly matters until, thank God Trump won, but hopefully he doesn't lose sight of the need for a federal program to ensure an election integrity that is ironclad and
well, it's the what's it called? It's called the RNC, right? The Republican National Convention. Didn't a bunch of their guys actually catch a bunch of the fucking twits driving around with ballot boxes trying to rig the fucking election again?
Fred, the things that they did even in this election, I think that they committed fraud against Carrie Lake, that woman that was running for governor in Arizona.
Oh no, they definitely fucked the Arizonans. Razor Fist was talking about it for a while now. They got fucked.
Which, that was my concern. I was worried that they would commit enough fraud to steal the House. They weren't able to do that. But I am very concerned. Do you know, what is today, December 4th?
Yeah, I do believe so.
There was a House election called yesterday in California, and it was a close one, and guess who won? Do you think the Republican won, or do you think they gave it to the Democrat?
They probably gave it to the Democrat.
Of course they did. It's this
because blue states are basically nepotistic fucking cesspools.
Well, it's you are that's why I think you're concerned. Now I can understand your concern about the electoral college in blue states, because there is
all these fuckers are in bed with each other, and I hate to see it.
Do you know what's actually would be the most ideal?
What's that? With
the electoral college? And I just thought about it. Do you know what Maine does? Do you know Maine splits their electoral votes to the actual voting districts? So they'll usually have one electoral vote go to the Democrat because it's the more liberal area, then the more conservative area will go to the Republican. Now, if states like New York did that, fucking New York would have like 90% of their electoral votes go Republican, just because it would that would actually be
that would be a sentence that would make me fucking cream my jeans. Like at the ripe age of 32, like if I hear New York State has been called for the Republican candidate, I would fucking bust immediately. Because it means there's a possibility that my fucking state could be saved instead of hoard out to a fucking wine mom and a pervert that grabs butts and rapes people.
Well, New York State did vote for Ronald Reagan back in the 80s.
Thank God for that.
We're not as unsavable as Minnesota, who...
Yeah, poor Minnesota.
Is that just because they've got the same sensibilities as Canadians, where they like to be trampled on and
they're just too nice. Like at least from what I've seen from I watch a channel called Zeducation all the time, and the guy who runs the channel, Tyler Zed. Like honestly, he just comes off as he's like our age, probably a little bit older, but he just comes off as your weird uncle who just wants to talk baseball with you all the time.
Fred, I am still stuck on this bridge. How the fuck do I get out?
Are you hitting the water?
Am I supposed to jump to the water?
That's what I did.
Oh. I'm a little bit retarded.
And I took a toke of pot. What does that mean to me? To be fair, it was a very small toke. I'm not trying to get fucking... I'm not trying to create a repeat of the situation we had playing Resident Evil 6. Even though that would be fun to do again. Just get completely fucking blasted.
Well, Resident Evil 5 would be a great game to play at some point.
That would be fun. There is a dozen games that I want to play for my channel. There's a dozen games I want to play with you.
Disco Elysium.
I know. I have a plan. Every time I try to plan for a weekday, something either comes up, I run out of time, and then I have to go back to work. And then I want to kill myself. So instead of saving it for the possible day off I have during the week or the possible time I have free during the week, I'm just going to save it for the weekend. Because my dad has stopped asking me to help him with stuff on weekends. So I hope this means he'll stop asking me for help with projects on the weekend. But knowing my luck, as soon as I start planning to stream on the weekends, he's going to start asking me for help again. So it's a double-edged sword. So let's play Russian roulette with this Saturday. I promise to stream Disco Elysium. If the chamber's loaded, I'll be helping my dad on Saturday. And right now I have a sinus infection. And unfortunately, recently my dog passed away, which is also sad. Jack, he was an old lad. He was almost 15 to 16 years old. That fucker lasted a long time. I love that bastard to death.
Yeah, he was a good little doggy.
Yeah. So what's actually kind of touching is it's actually making me tear up a little right now. I was talking in Discord with some lollies guys and stuff, some of the guys I interact with on there, and one of the guys, I think it was Lawrence specifically, you know who you are, but he said something that kind of touched me, and he said, dogs and cats and any pet is not born with original sin, so they are in the kingdom of heaven waiting for you. And that actually kind of I'm not a very spiritual nor religious person, but just the appreciation of the gesture kind of touched me. I'm not ready to shake it up with the Almighty completely yet, but I'll give him a Hail Mary every now and again.
Well, that's what Saint I think it was Saint Francis of Assisi. That was his big thing. Because there was actually a debate within Christianity, and he's like, nope, dogs, and that's true. I think any person, even if you're not overly religious, Dogs have a soul.
Yeah.
You know, they have some.
Oh, any pet you have, you can see behind their eyes. They may be simple creatures, but when you show them love, they will return it in kind. Like, you can even see it, like, in, like iguanas, hamsters, guinea pigs, like, all these animals. If you treat them right, that is your, like, bonded, like, creature for life. It's almost like having a familiar.
And it's one of the, even like if you get like a fucking pet fish, it's like
I loved having goldfish as a kid. Goldfish are pretty to look at, and they're fun to feed because you drop it in the water, and then like they come up and eat the little fish, just like whoop, whoop.
And they're a relatively affordable option.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's a good moral for people. If you're out there, you know, there's people legitimately out there that feel lonely or like, you know, depressed. A little fucking pet goldfish can like brighten your day in ways that you couldn't imagine.
Yeah, when my sister moved to the apartment, like I when she moved to the apartment and took the cat with him, and then like it was my choice to let her take the cat. I do admit that like I probably I didn't trust myself to take care of him properly. I can hardly take care of myself, so I wanted to give him a better chance.
Cats are a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to give him a better chance at a life where he didn't have to worry about, like, me not being there all the time and, like, possibly having the situation where I couldn't support him. I know my sister can support him, and I do miss him. It was a part of me that left, but if you love something, you gotta let it go sometimes.
That is true, too. That is true. But, you know, animals, not to sound like Tony Soprano, but having a pet or an animal, or, you know, there's so much, and I like, you know, people. I like people on an individual basis. I don't like groups of people. That's, you know, like George Carlin. That's
you don't like conglomerates.
Yeah, but like the thing about pets is they don't have all that bullshit that people bring with them, you know.
Yeah.
Like they're just these creatures that are there to be your friend and, you know, give you support, and that's something that like even human like it's fun because like, you know, we're so much more in like a, you know, in terms of like our technical knowledge, you know, humans are so much more intelligent than any other species. But then like when it comes to like the ability to like, you know, be kind and stuff, it's even the best people struggle with like basic shit that like, you know, you see like pack animals like dogs, like, you know, dogs will like fight, but then they like put down their conflict for like the greater good. Where like you think about human nature and it's like, gee, like, you know, imagine if like the shit that went on in Russia and Ukraine, like if, you know, just like fucking Putin and Zelensky, if they could just have like a fucking fist fight instead of fucking sending a bunch of young men to get their bodies blown apart in some fucking quagmire. Which, by the way, speaking of which, fuck those people that did that. You know, not to hand out a depressing note, but like, fuck those people that like took so many young lives from the world and destroyed a country because they put some little cocksucker fucking snarvely little fucking piece of shit Zelensky. Oh, he's the Churchill of our time. No, he's not. He's a fucking little corrupt cocksucker.
He's an egotistical fucking moron who played into the hands of a despot that was just looking for a fucking reason to roll over him. And then Daddy America had to bail his fucking ass out when we shouldn't have. Honestly, I really do. I really do hope, like, it, like, not the birth rate problem, but I really do hope America becomes the next Japan. We close ourselves off to the world and say, this is our ground rules, respect them or fucking leave. If you want our help, it has to be an even split or we're not gonna fucking bother. If you want help, bug those fucking limeys for once. They're part of NATO too.
Call up Sargon.
Yeah, honestly, Sargon, fix the fucking world, faggot. I'm not cleaning up your mess anymore.
Oh, but you need to embrace Marxism.
Fuck Marx. Fuck Ted Kaczynski. Oh, that was dramatic.
You know what's, that was dramatic. You know what's funny though?
I hate the fact that people idolize the Unabomber. But yeah, continue with your point.
By the time we get to the next election, the fucking creator of Disco Elysium will be less of a communist than Carl Benjamin.
That would actually upset me if Carl turns into a commie fuck. I might just have to buy a plane ticket just to kick him in the fucking dick.
Well, listen. This has been a hell of a stream. I forgot to tell you one more. Should I tell you this one more little
end it off.
bit of information? So,
tie a bow on it.
After Donald Trump threatened to like tariff the fuck out of Canada and Mexico, little Trudeau comes crying to Mar-a-Lago, and you know there's these black-pilled retards that are like, "Oh, Trump is just a phony. Look at he's got." It's like, no, this guy's got the world leader there the leader of Canada there. You know, a pretty important country because he's there to talk business. Yeah, he might be smiling in the picture, but do you know what Trump said to Trudeau? And it's practically been confirmed.
What's that?
Allegedly, but he said, Trudeau's like, if you do these tariffs, we'll be $100 billion in debt. Our country's gonna fall apart. And he's like, well, you know what? You could always become our 50. This is what Trump said. You could always become our 51st state.
Nice.
Governor.
Nice. I actually saw that earlier.
But like, just the chutzpah, you know, not to appropriate Jew language.
Well, it's like literally, this is what we were lacking with Biden because he didn't do a fucking thing, and he showed us as completely weak, inept, and we were able to be co-opted by so many things. And now that we have Trump, everybody's worried significantly, and I am happy about this. Everybody's worried that America is just gonna fucking bail out of everything. Fuck you guys, we're focusing on ourselves. I really do. I hope we show the world that we don't need any of you. You need us. And that's how it's always fucking been.
But I do have for the worst afflicted, I just you know, maybe it's just my kind sensibilities, Fred, but I do have a solution for like the U.S. even as an isolated country, which we need to be, for us to at least do a little bit of humanitarian aid. Do you want to know my solution? You're gonna like this.
What's that?
So, you know, Kennedy, the guy that's very smart, but guy goes like this when he, you know, so he's got this idea of banning all this seed oil shit.
Thank you.
So, you know, so here's my idea, just so we're not putting stuff to waste. All of these other countries that have benefited from having like McDonald's where it's not pure like filtered chemicals, you know, like you go to McDonald's in Canada, they don't have all the additives and shit in their food. So just to be humanitarians, we'll round up all of like the Coca-Cola with high fructose corn syrup, all of the unhealthy shit that we've been eating in this country.
You gotta do something with that backstock.
We're gonna just donate it to all of these countries and be like, here, listen, this is our severance package, okay? We're gonna leave NATO, we're gonna leave all this bullshit behind, and you can have all of our junk.
Take all of our garbage. We don't need it.
If Trump does tariffs, the price of avocados is gonna go. Oh, great. You know what? I don't fucking care. I'll pay double the price of avocados now.
Here's the thing. Oh, the price is gonna go up. You know what's gonna be? I don't know. You know what's gonna be great? I'm gonna be getting paid
in our country
3 times more.
But also, everything made in our country will dramatically decrease in price.
I know.
So it's almost like Trump is incentivizing us to buy American because America is a huge, prosperous, wealthy country that could be virtually, obviously.
The only thing that would make everything better is somehow if we got rid of everything that was made in China.
Well, the thing is, at the end of the day, you could at least, with some very quick changes to our policy, you could at least cut it down 60-70% within a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just getting I'd rather have automated fucking factories here than giving China our fucking business. At least they could pay some robot technician to jack off the Amazon.
China's the fucking place that gave us DEI. I don't want to buy any fucking thing from them anymore.
Well, and that's, by the way, these people like fucking Sargon that are singing praises to Marx, they are basically doing what the people that were jerking off Black Myth Wukong did. And that's not, I'm sure it's a great game, but the people were overly cheerful of that game, not realizing that that game was made by the people that fucking fund DEI.
Yeah, literally every game that comes out of China that gets the stamp of approval, I'm like, you motherfuckers don't get it. You literally, they don't have all this bullshit. That's because they're the ones who created it and pushed it onto everything. Oh, but Marvel Rival, fuck that fucking game. It's DEI fucking Skinnerbox fucking schlock. Actually play a goddamn game. I don't even care. Fucking buy Stellar Game.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance. At least you still got Ms. Marvel before she was a fucking dyke. Excuse me.
Yeah, Stellar Blade's a great game. Metaphor Refantasio's a great game.
That's another thing. I actually posted this on X earlier. Literally, everybody's too embarrassed to go back to, the stuff that's already acceptably good. And for some reason, with this, embarrassment, they refuse. They refuse to go back to Japan because, Japan's weird. But it's basically China is trying to emulate Japan. Are you this fucking blind? Why do you think we have so many boobs coming out of China now?
Well, yeah, and here's another thing. This might be my closing thought. All this stuff about Japanese games, and how they're shafted at the Jeff Keighley's award show. It's they have the
that
fucking,
motherfucker can go get bent.
They have the vote for best performance and shit, and it's Metaphor Refantasio, even the English dub of that game, has some very well done emotional moments, and they can't give a single nod to that game because it's not some fucking Western Union.
I at least appreciate they gave some praise to James's VA in the Silent Hill remake. Silent Hill 2, sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Which, by the way, my other problem is Game of the Year. Shadow of the Entry was a fantastic DLC expansion, but there was games that actually deserved their full releases that should have been on that list.
Well, literally, for whatever reason, instead of putting actual games on the list, they put DLC. Which, by the way, I'm not knocking them. I've heard the Elden Ring DLC is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
But pick a fucking game and separate DLC into a subcategory.
Let me just say this. I have Balatro on my phone. It's a fantastic roguelike poker game. It's actually really addictive.
That's cool.
It's a ton of fun. But, if it's between that and a game like fucking Stellar Blade, I'm sorry. It's a great game, Balatro. It's very fun. I highly recommend it. It's $10. And it's also on Switch and shit. You will get addicted. If you like poker, if you like roguelikes, it's those two things mesh, and it's an amazing indie game.
I play a lot of poker on Red Dead 2 and Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball, so.
Yeah, it's a fucking fantastic. It's a fantastic game for what it is. But usually Game of the Year has to be something that really fucking hits.
Yeah.
And
Arkham City, that was Game of the Year. That fucking hit. What were a couple other good? Yeah, that one.
Red Dead Redemption.
That one fucking hit. All these games were fucking turning points. Really amazing, truly top of their class, well crafted experiences. And now for whatever reason, maybe it's because there's no fucking decent games coming out of the West these days. Excuse me. But for whatever reason, they can't figure out who to give these awards to anymore. So they keep fucking sucking off Neil Druckmann. Fuck that fucking guy, too. Fuck me. Do you think... I have a legitimate question. Do you think we will see an improvement in the gaming market, or do you think it's still going to crash under Trump? I think it's still going to crash. But that's because I'm a cynical dickhead.
No, but it's gonna crash in the sense that like your country.
Here's how I think we're gonna see the crash.
Yeah, but
all of these Fortune 500 AAA developers, they're gonna fucking die.
But it's not as much like a crash as much as like it's
a
like
changing of the guard.
It's almost like a 600-pound person taking Ozempic. It's like actually you kind of had to do it at that point. Like it's either that or death.
Yeah.
It's not a crash. Like it's not gonna be a crash. I mean, I would argue that the past 3-4 years we've kind of been in a soft crash, and it's
the same thing. How Wally explained the Marvel situation with the movie universe. It's more content of lessening quality, and it's just getting more expensive every single time it comes out.
This is a very obscure film thing, but like another analogy would be like the consolidation of film studios in the 1960s and 70s, because that was sort of like a very like the 60s especially was like a period of decline in Hollywood.
Yeah, it is a very, very volatile time period.
And then like Godfather was like the movie that kind of brought back like the high quality, high production cinema.
Because people understood movies could be good again.
Well, and it's also because like some fairly intelligent people managed to get into some of these film studios. A lot of the other film studios that crashed and burned got consolidated into like 20th century and the other ones, but it also spun out like a lot of indie films. So what I see happening is I think you're right. We're gonna see things that look like a crash and burn, but actually it's kind of like it's like this is a weird oxymoron, but it's like a healthy forest fire. Like it almost has to happen.
Well, yeah, because the idea behind the forest fire is it burns everything to the ground, but it unleashes a lot of carbon that new plants can eat up and grow even stronger than ever. It sucks because you saw a whole portion of this forest burn down, probably on purpose because Trudeau's incompetent and he doesn't know how to fucking fund park rangers. Thanks for ruining my summer last year, dickhead.
I think Microsoft is either going to have an extreme wake-up call and fix Xbox, or I think they're just going to basically make Xbox into their PC platform. That might be for the best, honestly, at this point.
Well, what would actually crack me up is if Xbox, or at least Microsoft as a company, starts doing this. I just fucking lost the word for it. The places where you can go and buy a pre-built PC with any specs that you want. They basically build the PC for you, or you can like choose a pre-build and they send it to you. Like they build it for you and send it down the line. And so it's actually cost effective in a certain way, and like you don't have to worry about screwing up building it yourself. If Microsoft is going to go any route that's other than the console market, they might just do that. It's not a bad idea. It works. It's proven to work.
I think Sony...
They just got to make sure they don't sell a lesser product.
Sony's either going to see how, like, Astrobot has, like, given their system some life, or they're going to crash and burn.
Unfortunately with Sony, I think they're too far gone at this point. So Sony's pretty much at this point of no return, where they're looking back at everything they had and everything they've ruined. And, like, eventually there's going to hit a point where these people are going to be so deluded that they cannot admit to themselves that the Titanic is sinking, or or they're going to look back upon the path and be like, we really fucked this up, didn't we? We had a good thing here and we ruined it.
Nintendo is going to continue to print money, but I do have a hot prediction. I think they're going to like do some more. I think they're going to do a movie adaptation that's like the Mario movie was pretty good.
You know, it'd be hilarious.
Somebody like they're going to have just a complete shit show of a movie adaptation.
You know, it'd be hilarious if like Nintendo actually made enough money to buy out Sega, and then they just made the Mario and Sonic movie.
Well, I almost think that this is another weird thing. I almost think that Microsoft might partner with Sega because they actually have a fairly close relationship, believe it or not. And I think that they might actually give Sega like control of the Xbox brand, which I think would be a fantastic idea because clearly they don't know how to manage it. That would be a
Sega's suffered so much, but we've gotten so many good things from Sega. I really hope DEI doesn't try to ruin them, because if DEI gets to them, we just lost Yakuza.
DEI's dying. But Fred, DEI's dying out.
No, the beast never really dies; it just sheds its skin.
No, but like, no, I know what you're saying. Like, it's gonna appear in.
I just wanted to quote Wolfenstein. I'm sorry.
But legitimately,
that's a game I gotta play.
The current incarnation of DEI, a lot of companies are pulling out, and I think that the Trump. That's why, like going back to what you're saying, indirectly the Trump victory might be like a positive change.
Well, like I think the backers of DEI, China, found out that maybe being so obvious about it wasn't the smartest fucking move, because now every single person who has half a brain gripped that fucking weed by the root and pulled it until the fucking stem popped, just so they could see the blood pouring out from the soil.
Two more predictions. I see Ubisoft, EA, and most likely what's the other one I'm trying to think of? Ubisoft, EA, what's that other company? Epic. I see all three of those companies crashing and burning, and this is my last prediction. I see a lot of like smart people buying up those IPs, and I also see Japanese companies buying those IPs like Capcom.
No, EA's going to be a weird one because EA's stubborn. I think it's going to be like Of Mice and Men. Somebody's just going to like walk up to EA, talk to them about the rabbits, and blow their brains out for them. Like, EA's not going to stop on their own. Somebody's going to have to stop them.
Yeah. Listen, but Ubisoft is sort of like THQ circa 2010. They're a dead man walking.
Yeah.
I don't see them making it past 2010.
Then again, Capcom had a fucking turnaround. But once again, Capcom's in danger of fucking themselves in the ass. There's always the possibility. Don't give them too much credit. Give them credit where it's due. I love what they're doing right now.
Okay, listen, Mr. Cynical. Capcom has ups and downs, though. Ubisoft is just
Ubisoft was a net negative ever since Tom Clancy died.
Ubisoft has been on a period of decline for a decade. Capcom had like a 2 or 3 year period where they did a lot of retarded
shit. I have a feeling like something just fucking broke in Ubisoft the moment Tom Clancy died, and they realized we don't have a writer for all of our military stuff. Oh god, we're gonna have to start making our own stories again. Fuck.
Yeah. Listen,
we're gonna have to do work.
Listen, we're gonna have to end this stream because otherwise I'm not gonna get any sleep.
Otherwise, we're gonna be talking forever. Okay, I'm gonna.
No, this is a very good stream.
I enjoyed this probably like fucking 20-minute section at the back end, just talking about shit. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah, listen, we'll do this maybe next week around this time.
Yeah, like if you want, in our off time, we can go back into this and like just collect some healing stuff for you, so you're not like getting biffed all the time. I remember you bitching at me last time about that, and I'm so used to just speed running this game that I don't even think about it anymore. And I didn't realize that I was just leaving you in the dust. I hope you at least got some decent footage. I kind of felt bad when I realized I was just running ahead without even thinking.
Ooh, Razorfist is going on a fucking
tear.
Do
you react to my tweet? I don't give a shit. I just fire my load and leave it there.
Well, you do that, Fred, but maybe...
it's the weird thing about me. I love interacting, but I don't like following up on the things that I've, interacted with. It's a very bizarre, sort of thing. I take the pleasure from getting the occasional like. I enjoy, maybe a brief spar in the replies, but it's usually just a single reply and I'm done replying to my reply. But other than that, I just say my piece and I leave it there, laid bare. I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing social media wrong, but I really don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about interacting. It's very bizarre. Sure I'll pass a glance over to Wally on occasion because I love interacting with him, because it's gonna sound parasocial, but I just enjoy the fact that he thinks I'm funny on occasion. But then again, he doesn't give a shit who I am or where I'm from. I'm just some lame ass on the internet. Everybody's a lame ass on the internet. That's the internet shit. Don't take it too seriously. But regardless, we should probably end this.
Well, listen, we had fun.
Okay,
we came, we saw.
We came.
We had a lot of fun. Exactly. All right, listen, Godspeed. I'm going to hit the stop live stream button now.
All right.
Go.
You hit the hay. I'll catch you next time. One of these days, we got to hang out. If you want me to, I'll bring over a vape pen with a fresh cartridge.
Well, we'll make plans. We'll expect some light gun footage in the.
Yeah, we definitely do need to get back to House of the Dead. Was so fucking fun. That's another game from Bygone. I gotta stop talking, or else we're gonna talk all night. Thank you for joining me, folks. Anybody who came here, I really appreciate that you dropped by. Anybody new to the channel, welcome. Anybody coming back, welcome back. I've been Fred, that's been Ray, this has been Dying Light. I hope to see you guys next time.